Hello, everybody. Welcome to the nighttime stream. It has been a little bit since I've done one of these. That wasn't me just pushing the stream back because I had construction. We're hitting a double whammy in one day, which I'm not going to complain about at all because damn did we get cut short this morning. There is still some stuff that I wanted to talk about. I specifically mentioned Xio'S. So I heard through the grapevine that there was a bit of a crazy situation that happened. So I do know that she's been like in and out the LCU. Low-key didn't really care because for the most part, I found her to be very boring. But I was like, I'll give it a chance because something wild is supposedly what led to her leaving. Apparently she's been exposed by like a family member on Reddit. So we're going to go ahead and check out here we are. We're going to check this out. The most recent video from the Ghoul Logs, which kind of addresses a good amount of what I'm talking about. Also, my fucking chat on the side is not working again. I don't know why it's doing that. I think I just have to reset the stream key every time because that fixed it this morning and now it's not working again and I'm mad. I'm angry. All right, let me switch this over. Ooh, that's a crazy angle to start you off on. Hopefully you weren't eating. That might make you lose your lunch. Dinner. It's definitely dinner time. Wait a minute. All right, let me make sure it's turned up.
You're gonna come in here and spread hate, you're gonna get blocked. Because I haven't been live in days, so yeah, instant block.
That's jarring. She might be the most jarring one to look at for me personally. I gotta admit. I gotta be really real. She is, wow, Lord. And she's eaten too. It's just like, when will it stop?
Xio has been pretty quiet since quitting Low-Cal Fire on the 14th, and on Sunday night, she decided to finally go back to live streaming, but it only lasted about 15 minutes before she rage quit.
It lasted as long as her meal lasted, let's be so for real. She finished her food and was like, what do I do now?
This social media break and her quitting Low-Cal Fire stems from the fact that on Reddit, a family member went on there and said some very harsh things towards Xio and kind of questioned a lot of her credibility when it comes to certain things in her past that Xio has talked about. So far, Xio has refused to speak about any of this, and it's the main reason she rage quit Low-Cal Fire on the 14th.
So, I'll be real here. I'm sure, similarly to probably not... I'm sure a lot of you, low-key, don't really know this bitch's lore. She's just boring. She's not that interesting to keep up with. The only parts of her life that are low-key interesting is the fact that she's been on, like, all the different, like, weight loss shows or whatever. That's kind of interesting, the fact that she ate through every single diet in the world. But, like, her herself is actually super boring. So no one's like sitting there and watching like Xio'S streams and being like on the edge of their seat. There's just not enough content for that there. So I don't know.
We get into the live stream from Xio, and we're not going to go through all of it. I was able to get it through a third-party app that records TikTok live streams, but the catch is I can't get the chat. So we're just going to have the raw of that video. But before that, I want to go into this Low-Cal Cash episode briefly that talks about Xio and what happened after the Low-Cal Fire episode that I didn't cover in my previous upload about Xio and this whole fallout. Because she does address a few claims from the Reddit thread, but not a lot. And it's definitely very vague, so it's not really a response. But at least it's something, and I forgot to include it in my last upload, so I want to...
I'll be a little clear. I did watch this video preemptively. It's low-key not a response to any of the Reddit shit. Like it's just very briefly, like, this thing happened. That's all, but I'll still play it out for you guys.
So apparently, and she's gonna make a remark about this, because when I read her statement, oh, you didn't see Fire at all?
No.
Oh boy. Well, apparently there's a little Reddit thread floating around from a family member that basically paints Zio in a not so great light and kind of says that she's lied about certain things, bad things. And so tonight,
Can I keep it a stack, or is anybody surprised? You can't get that big by not being a liar. You lie to yourself every time you look in the mirror and you're like, yeah, I'm all right to eat another cheeseburger. I'm all right to eat this triple batch of fries. Like, I'm just gonna keep it real here. You gotta admit, we know they're all liars. I don't take anything they say as legitimate, especially when it starts to be like their sob stories. I kind of tune out for those. I'm like, if it's a sob story about something they went through in their life, probably didn't happen.
I'm a toker, a joker, and a midnight wiener stroker.
The earth is gravitating around her. Damn. Generally, I don't do fat jokes. Have a good stream, Zay.
She does have her own orbit, that's fair. Also, thank you, Heck. Good to see you.
when we were doing our live stream, these little people were in the chat, you know, bringing them up, trying to get her to address them. Oh. And she said, I'm not addressing shit. I don't feel like it. I'm not doing this. And then she cut her camera off for like 20 minutes and wouldn't talk. And Abby was also sick. So I was up there by myself and with Sour, like, hello, I'm trying to talk to her and she's not talking to me.
I always hate when people complain about this. If you can't fucking solo stream for whatever amount of time is, you just suck as a fucking streamer. Like, to be real, like, there's so many people over there that always, like, use this excuse or whatever, and they're like, oh, like, this person left, and that's why the stream, I had to do this unplanned. So has, like, everybody else over there. You should just be, like, good enough that you don't need somebody else always with you, and if they leave for a suck, you should be able to improvise. But I digress. Really quickly, we got Auntie Bunny with the Glizzy General for 1 whole month, who said, so proud of you, Zay, and the fun community you've created. It'll take another month for me to decide on a movie pick. Whenever you do, you know, they stack. So if you never used yours, and I know you didn't use yours, just let me know what yours from last month was, and you can just put it on the wheel twice if you want. You know, no biggie. No pressure. Also, make sure you know what? Since I know Auntie Bunny's here tonight and this is a better time slot for her, we're going to do a second pet of the day today because I have a surprise.
Finally, Tina came up there to save the night. It was a shit show. So then she finally comes back on camera and she's like, I can't do this anymore. This is it for me. It's going to be my last stream. And she posted a...
Oh, yeah, now I remember what else I wanted to tack onto that as well, on the topic of, okay, well, you should just be able to solo stream. Also, who expected Xiomara to come into the LCU and carry the show? I feel like my biggest problem with Fupa as a streamer is she's not a good main host. She's a good supporting host. She's like a side character. She was like Amberlyn Breed's sidekick, and I think that she thought Xio coming onto Fire was going to make her like Xiomara's like little sidekick. In the sense, not I'm saying that she always agrees with them or does what they want, but she's not entertaining unless it's like shitting on one of them. She just sits there and like low-key twiddles her thumbs and flaps her gums about a bunch of fucking political things that she just seems really dumb when she talks about. I'm gonna be really real. I don't know anything, but that bitch don't sound like she knows anything either. I'm gonna be real.
You in the main chat.
Yeah, Xio posted this in the Low-Cow Discord in the main chat. So this wasn't in a private server. It wasn't in a private message. It wasn't in a private anything. I mean, other than the fact that you have to pay $10 to join this Discord server, anyone could have viewed this post. And
also, let's be real. Any post that's from the LCU ends up on like Reddit or like other communities anyways. Since leaving, I have literally heard pretty much every announcement that they have put out from that bitch, because there's so many people I know that are either still over there or know people that are still over there who tell them what goes on. It just gets out. Do they think that you need to pay $10 to hear the things that they write over there? I've always wondered that. Also, just want to say a quick shout out to, it's obviously Danny, my wife, for throwing down some little jewel spams. I see you, my wife.
And while she really hasn't addressed this situation head on, she at least talks about some of the things that are talked about in this thread. but like I said, it isn't much, and I really wouldn't count this as her speaking on the situation. But I wanted to include it just to make sure that all of the sides are there.
And she said, "There's a special place in hell for all of you that think it's okay to talk to me like that. I've done nothing but try and try. And I'm just poked at constantly. Hosts do shit all the time, and when I do it because I'm new, it's the end of the world. All you bitches ever have to say to me is I'm fat and in a nursing home. Tina D, I honestly feel bad. I get you're old, but you don't have to live the rest of your days so angry like this. I get this is all for show or a persona, but I'd hate to be that miserable. Those are generational curses that have to be broken for things to change. And yes, I was blank and blank. And yes, I went to foster care when I was 9. Hope that clears things up. Xio."
All right. So pausing to say really quickly, first off, anybody now, at this point in the stage of the LCU, if you are like incoming or like going into the LCU at this stage, I feel no pity for you. There's been more than enough people who've like already exposed what it's like to work there, what happens when you work there, the kind of vibe that it's like joining as like a new person versus someone who's been there for a while. These are all things you could do simple research on, literally look up on YouTube, LCU, and you'll find a bunch of shit, right? So anybody who's going into there now, I currently don't feel bad for. People who were already there, who joined any time in the first 6 months of its existence, I could kind of feel for them a little bit because it was pitched as a very different thing than even what it's being pitched as now. It's no secret how Keem treats people now, and nobody's saying, oh yeah, he's been a saint on the internet or anything. But the way that he came off in like marketing it was like, oh, you would get this opportunity to be taught by these other streamers how to become a streamer. And there was bigger names in the community at the time. And then you join and it's like, nope, you're just thrown to the wolves and Keem is going to make fun of you every day. And so is the entire community. So I don't know why she's surprised by this, especially considering it's called Lolcow Universe. She is known to be a actual lolcow. It's not like she's joining in and like, oh, is a random Discord person. No, she's someone who's known and is a lolcow. Why did she think it was going to be skipping through the daisies? I couldn't tell you.
So the Reddit page really doesn't want to be shared, even though it has been screenshotted, Zell. I'm going to respect those wishes, but I am going to go over a little bit of the things that were said in there. One being the fact that this person who is a family member of Xio says that, I don't know Xio's lawyers like that, so I don't know any of the things I'm speaking on.
To be real.
And apparently there are SA allegations. This family member says it didn't happen. Xio is saying that it did. Xio has said apparently in the past that she's been in foster care. This family member says that has never happened either. Also, that Xio comes from a loving family that was in the suburbs and has never really had to struggle with anything outside of her weight before because she is apparently babied that much by her family, and makes the claim that the only reason Xio tells these stories is to gain sympathy and gifts from strangers.
Oh, and then she put in, because I read that on stream, she told me to, she said, Fupa, you're something along the lines of, Fupa, you're a bitch for reading that on stream. You deserve to get kicked off a bus.
All right. Sorry, I could see something was picking up in my mic and I'm thinking my headphones are just loud. I was like, what the fuck is that? Anyways, so starting off, going into this whole Reddit thread or whatever the fuck, anytime, I don't know what it is about Reddit specifically and why like family members or whatever would choose to go to Reddit. I am keen to just be like, usually of the non-believer. But then the problem with this is Xiomara basically kind of confirmed that this is actually somebody she knows by freaking out. She could have just been like, yeah, this is a fake Reddit post. And instead she freaks out and she makes it worse. You know what I'm saying? So starting off there, I think the best case scenario, if it is actual like family and you just don't want to address any of that shit, maybe just don't even address that it exists other than saying, I don't know who that is, and that's just some fake Reddit post. Like it's the way that she makes it obvious that it's upsetting her. And then on the topic of her being like, okay, well, these things happen and the family member saying it didn't, whatever the story is, I think ultimately at the end of the day, the reason that things like this even get brought up is because of how often the different girls will use these situations for pity. If she wasn't constantly pity partying and bringing up all these things that happened to her as a reason why you should feel bad and as a reason why she's not losing weight, etc., we wouldn't even care, or really not, like, she's choosing to put all this really like goes back to some of the shit I was saying with Foodie earlier. You put all this information out there, people are gonna dissect it. Especially on the internet, you are never going to receive 100% positive attention. That's just not how the internet works. That's not how life works. You're gonna go into a job, and I guarantee you, there's going to be one person you work with that's not going to fucking like you. That is just how the world works. People have different personalities, different traits, whatever, and you're gonna find something you don't like in somebody that other people do enjoy. That's just life, right? So when you choose to like present every little bit of yourself on the internet and all these things, you're telling them all these traumatic things that have happened to you, etc., you're leaving it open for everybody to criticize, everybody to make their own narratives, and everybody to tell you that you're lying. And if you don't want to hear that, if you can't handle that, then shut up and stop talking about it. But you can't, because you need the sympathy votes, because if you're not sitting there eating stuff in your fucking face and pity baiting, you have nothing to talk about. This is literally every fucking stream I've watched from every single one of the girls in the past 2 to 3 fucking months. It is just constant eating, pity baiting, complaining, nothing else. Can one of you pick up some sort of a hobby?
That's crazy.
Like, you put it in main chat. I wasn't reading a private DM.
Yeah, that's actually a lot of nerve when she's leaked DMs with her and Yo Mama.
Yeah.
She's...
Rules for thee, not for Z. So Xio'S live stream, like I said, was only 15 minutes, and the first of it was just her complaining, but not complaining about her roommate. Apparently her DoorDash got delivered and she was in the bathroom. And apparently the driver gave the roommate their food, but I don't think that person ate the food. Either way, Xio was upset about it, but of course she was like, no, I'm not blaming my roommate. I'm blaming the DoorDash driver, who was probably already so weirded out that he had to take the food into the actual room instead of just leave it at the front desk like most other hospitals do.
I need a pause. Why the fuck would you be upset about that if the roommate didn't eat the food? Like, what's your problem? You're in the bathroom. You send the goddamn DoorDash driver all the way to your room. They do that shit. They go there. And you're mad that they handed the food to your roommate because your big fat ass is in the bathroom? What's he supposed to wait for you to wipe between the cheeks? If he had enough time to walk into your room, hand the food to your roommate, and leave before you even saw him, you took way too long in the bathroom knowing you had a DoorDash on the fucking way. Like, what are you upset about? Like, at that point, it's just like, you want to complain. Because there's literally no fucking problem with that. It's the same as, like, you living in an apartment complex and they're gonna leave the food in front of your door. You're lucky he even brought that shit into your room. Most DoorDash drivers would tell your big fat ass no, have one of the nurses bring it to you from the front desk. And I guarantee you didn't even tip that man well enough to have done all that. Crazy work.
She also starts a live stream off by saying, block anyone and everyone who says just the slightest thing out of pocket. And of course, I couldn't see the chat, so I don't know what was getting said and why people were getting blocked. But Xio will block over anything.
These are the same bitches, just like Foodie Beauty earlier, who are like, I want to grow my channel. I want to get a new audience that's not all drama and not all hate. But then they get anybody in the chat who gives them a slight criticism and they're like, banned. Snipe out. Old Yellard, bitch.
What is interesting, though, in this live stream is the last, like, few minutes, she does start talking about the LCU, and that's what we're going to cover.
You guys think I'm desperate for money?
Yes. Lord knows this angle is diabolical. And yes. Telling by this specific angle, you don't work. How else do you make money if not begging people on the internet? I'll wait. Oh, I guess, like, probably disability. But you probably eat through your disability check. Don't lie to me.
I am desperate for money, and I will sell my left ass cheek, but I will never sell my soul. Do you?
Do you think I'm desperate for money? Do you think I am. I would literally sell my left ass cheek for a corn chip. Like, she didn't say corn chip, but let's be real, she would. If it starts with F, ends with D, and got 2 O's in the middle, she would do anything for it. Bust it open any which way, sideways, upside down, forward, backward, in rotation. Let's be real. But her saying I wouldn't sell my soul for it. Well, do you even have a soul left? I feel like you have been on every single weight loss show possible and like eaten through it. That's gotta be a demon in you. They talk about the 7 deadly sins. You're like the embodiment of gluttony. There is no way there is a human soul still deep within you. It'd be like trying to go to like one of those like really, you know, those people who go through the caves, but they have to like squeeze themselves through those like really tight little crevices. That's what somebody would have to do between your fat folds to try to find any bit of like an empathy and a heart and a real person in there anymore. Food has become you.
Can you hear me? Never. I'd rather die. Never sell my soul. Thank you. Next, Viva la vida fucking loca. That's why I left the LCU.
I feel like she's trying to sound like Foodie Beauty here. Can I be really real? And I saw this earlier, so you'll see what I'm saying. I think the more you watch this, it feels like she's like putting on this like fake manic episode because it doesn't feel real at all. It just feels like she's like genuinely just rambling to try to come off like more entertaining than usual because her content sucked in the LCU. Her content sucked before the LCU. So she's probably just looking at what other girls are doing, and Foodie's kind of been on like a crash out rage vibe. It was just giving very Foodie.
You won't sell your soul, huh? What about for a gift card? Because you still seem to be kind of salty about it. Also, I think Fupa ended up back on Locale Bus.
I know they watching this shit.
I probably need to give some context in case you guys haven't kept up or watched the Gulag's videos on anything with Xiomara. So apparently there was some big beef that went on in the LCU that I don't think it had any contribution to her actually leaving, but I know she like fake said she was gonna quit over it at least once or twice. So apparently Yo Mama over on Pit like wanted to have Xiomara on the show. So to get her on the show, he said he would give her a $200 Cheesecake Factory gift card. And she went up, she did the show. Apparently she had a good time. The chat liked her. She claimed she had a good time. And then after the fact, he only gave her a $25 Cheesecake Factory gift card that supposedly his uncle gave him. And everybody started like attacking Xiomara and being like, you're ungrateful, you're ungrateful. But I'll also be real. Yo Mama's just a broke bitch who promised this woman $200 that he didn't got. He'd have to like sell half the room in the garage and rent it out to somebody else for the month to be able to like give her the $200 for the Cheesecake Factory gift card. Otherwise, he would have just paid her out the amount he owes her. Because he always does shit like that in the LCU. You ever peep that? Anytime somebody's like down, they lose their job, and they talk about it on stream, or like they had something bad happen in their life, he's like, we're gonna raise all this money tonight, and we're gonna donate it to this person. Have any of those people ever got that money? Because I remember he did that like a couple different times. Like there was a couple months ago when Phantom lost his job and he did this big like fundraise for Phantom and he said he was going to give him all that money. Did he ever give him all that money from that episode? I'm really curious. Because I think he just promises money and shit to people he doesn't have, gets them on, and then never delivers. At this point, people should realize he does that and then just ask him for payment up front.
I can give two. I do miss some of the people in the LCU, but bullies. That's all they are. That's all they are. They're bullies. And let me tell you another thing. Everything about the LCU, everything, and I mean everything, is about money.
Well,
she's giving like that Nikocado video here. D's Nuts in the chat said, nah, he dirty scammed her. Exactly. Like, everyone keeps being like, oh, you big fat ass, you wanted a $200 Cheesecake gift card, Cheesecake Factory gift card. Just be grateful you got a $25 one. Nah, I'm gonna be real. Any bitch would be mad. If you promise somebody $200, no matter what the denomination is for, any gift card, if you promise somebody a $200 gift card, that's multiple meals right there, okay? $200, no matter how you put it, is multiple meals for somebody. $25 at the Cheesecake Factory, that's barely paying for an entree. Like, I'm gonna be so real. I love the Cheesecake Factory. That barely pays for an entree. So, to ask somebody to go on to do something for 2 hours, time is money to people. If she, in her brain, said that 2 hours of her time is worth $200 and that's what she agreed upon, and then he didn't pay her out, he is a dirty scammer. It's that simple. And everyone acting like she was crazy for asking for the money. That's the least crazy thing that I've ever seen that bitch do. She was just asking to be paid out what she was owed. Not that crazy of a concept, to be real. Oh, also, I guess I'll answer this, because fucking somebody, Action Creature said, when are you going back to the LCU? I'm not. I don't know if there's, like, a rumor or anything that I'm going back, because I've seen a couple people ask that. Or I guess maybe it's because a bunch of other people are going back. I'm not going back to the LCU. I have no plans to go back. My channel's doing just fine at the moment.
Yeah, it's a business. Honestly,
and also, I'll be real, even if my channel is not doing just fine, I am not going back to the LCU. I would just do something else on my own channel.
I would love to hear from Xio what she actually thought this experience was going to be. She came in watching the LCU during the Low-Cow Bus Paradise stuff, and some of those episodes were pretty intense, so I don't understand why she feels so blindsided.
Dude, exactly. And I'm glad that Rin points that out in this video. Always shout out to the Gulags. Love her content. But she is acting like she didn't know what the place was. During the time when they even, like, propositioned for her to join, it was in the midst of the Paradise shit. Did she watch that and think that people were being treated nicely? They were literally, like, Keem was on the stream actively making jokes towards every single person involved in the situation. She's like, I can't believe they made fun of me. Do you think that you're, like, so special that you were, like, gonna avoid all that? Just, like, walking, skipping through the roses like you were bigger than everybody who had ever come in? Because being realistic, Amber is a much bigger creator than her. I never even really knew who Xiomara was. I'd, like, seen low-key, like, her on My 600-Pound Life, I think, just because I used to watch that show. But I wouldn't be able to pick her out from a bunch of the other 600-pound people on there. Like, that's really the tea, so...
But we can't say that. We can't say that it's about money. We're just there to be their cows.
Xio, the only thing you ever talked about when you were on the LCU, especially Low-Cow Fire, was making money. Anytime someone wanted to ask you a question, you're like, put it on 5 Reds.
And I'm not.
And also this whole, like, we're made to be their cows. It's called the U-Cow. It's called the Low-Cow universe. What did you think it was? Going in as somebody who's, like, actively already a Low-Cow. Like, people actively cover you to already make fun of you outside of the LCU. So you thought joining into there was going to be, like, your saving grace and you had protection?
I'm not gonna be anybody's cow. I'm gonna be my own fucking cow. How about that, Keem?
You can't tell me this isn't giving very, like, foodie-esque stream. She's, like, chowing down, and now she's just making sounds and jiggling while she's like, you'll rue the day, Carly Shay. Like,
All right, she starts thinking she's hearing weird noises, but she's in a communal space, so of course people are around, but she starts getting more, you could tell, just agitated as this live goes on, and it's not going to last very much longer.
I'm gonna be real. I know in this, like, Rin's like, oh, she gets agitated. She's not agitated. It's, like, fake rage, whatever, so that she just can end the stream and be like, this is happening, or, like, you'll see what I'm saying.
Can't live stream in her bedroom anymore because now she has a roommate.
I've been nothing but respectful. Thank you very fucking much.
Yo, whoa, yo, play that back.
Can't live stream in her bedroom anymore because now she has a roommate.
I've been nothing but respectful.
Dude, that's fucking scary as fuck. That was a genuine jump scare. Bro, put that scene of her pulling up in the mobility scooter in, like, a horror movie trailer, and you will scare the masses. Put that. Oh my god, that was so scary. It's like, oh lord, she coming. She's about to eat you. Whoo. Oh my god, I would fear for myself if I saw her rolling toward me. Dude, I think she could roll me over. Dude, if she sat on me, I think I got like 5 minutes before I'm dead. Dude, she's huge, man. How much does she weigh, man? Holy god.
Thank you very fucking much. Anyways, I love you guys. Did I fart? No! The door was creaking. It must have been a spirit or something. I don't care, bitch. Anyways, just kidding. It wasn't.
It's probably the sound of the chair begging for its life back. It hasn't seen daylight in who knows how long. It's suffocating. It's screaming. It's crying for help. Please let it out. End its suffering.
Spirit. I thought somebody was trying to open it, but I think it was just the AC.
Yo.
I thought somebody was trying to open it.
Yo.
But I think it was just the AC.
Surprise, motherfucker.
Band Mono with the 2-cent part 2 for my charity dono. That's not even enough to buy a piece of cheesecake at the Cheesecake Factory, Mono. You know what? You know what you deserve for that? You know what you deserve for that, Mono? Banned. Dude. Her knees got knees. Her knees come in threes. 3-knee McGee. Holy god. Dude. I have so many questions. Like, how does one achieve this build, man? It looks like you could separate her torso from the rest of her. Like it's not even real. Dude, those pants got stretched beyond belief.
Surprise, motherfucker.
Wow. Dude, this is like, honestly, whatever brand of pants this is, they deserve the work. Like, they are making the top. I want to know what brand of pants this is. These would make great gym leggings. They got the perfect amount of stretch.
Surprise, motherfucker. They see me rolling, they hating.
Trying to catch me riding dirty. Holy shit. We got Auntie Bunny with the Australian 2 who said, what's the technical term for knee cankle? A nankle? A nankle, I guess. Dude, it's like the strange part is her ankles are like normal sized and she's accumulating fat like on like her shin. Oh, I got a bruise. I banged myself up. But she's accumulating shin fat. Crazy. Nuts. We got just call me Autumn XO with the 2 said, the Scooty said help as she took the corner. Dude, it's also like it's like a forklift sized mobility chair. I didn't know they came this double wide because she looks kind of comfortable and like usually you see them spilling over the sides. I didn't know they made them like forklift sized, but hey, that's good to know. We also got Band Mono on a freaking another account with the 2 said, damn, not even the LCU would ban for $2 donos. Well, this ain't the LCU, and you better get that Cheesecake Factory money up, Mono. Banned.
Did you hear me just struggle to open the door with my left hand? That was me struggling.
Is that the resting state of her hand? Dude.
With my left hand.
My left hand. Hi, guys. Like, whoa. Her fingers are so fat. Can she close them? Dude, wait. Because I'm like, why couldn't she open the door? She can't close her fingers, can she? This is as gripped as they get. This is as closed as she can shut her hand. There's so much cushion in between. Wow. This is what other countries look at when they think of Americans, and they're like, oh, America, the gluttony. I would think that too if I saw this. This is crazy. Oh, it's a paralyzed hand. Okay, that makes sense. I thought she just had, like, a paw pad. Yeah, a paw pad. Exactly, Fusion. I was like... Foxtrot Remedies with the two said struggling to breathe while riding is something. Low-key, the same as Foodie. I wasn't even that shocked by that because Foodie does the same thing. She'll be on the scooter fully out of breath like she just ran a marathon.
That was me struggling. Body, yaddy, yaddy. Stop, just kidding. I'm kidding. This is why I can't go live anymore. Because I have instant crash outs. No matter. I crash out wherever I go. Why not be quick? Why you got to be quiet? Shh.
This is is she considering this a crash out? No, you're just like randomly making sounds and noises. Like she's doing that like annoying like I want attention toddler thing right now. And she's like, I'm crashing out. No, you're just incessantly freaking out. Like, I guess this is the most content we've gotten from her in a long time though. So why am I even complaining? Heck, that's diabolical. Heck with the Australian too said, how did she paralyze her hand? Biting it?
Yeah, that basically sums up all of Xio'S return to live streaming.
That's it?
And I cut out most of the whole her going back and forth on her scooter to throw trash away because that took up a lot of time. It really doesn't seem like she's in a great headspace to be live streaming, so I really don't blame her for not. But the longer she stays away, I think the worse things are going to be for her. Especially now that she has a roommate, she's probably trying to figure out a whole new routine. That's why we're getting so much stories instead of her actually filming content or live streaming. I'll update the story more if anything more happens, but it looks like Xio'S run in the LCU is officially over, and I
don't know if she's gonna go back. Personally, I don't really care because I don't think she's that entertaining anyways. The main reason for covering this is more to talk about the exposure on the Reddit thread or whatnot. So if you know the lore and you're interested in all the shit with that, there is that Reddit thread floating out there that claims, you know, she was never in foster care, that the essay allegations that she's made are fake, and that she came from a regular suburban household family and her life is not as bad as she claims it to be. So just to be noted.
doubt she'll go back even if she gets offered. She probably is getting offered. Keemstar is really trying to get everyone who's left to come back right now. At the end of the day, this is just probably not a good fit for Xio and where she's at in her life right now. I'm going to end things here.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a tough one. And, oh, she got severe pneumonia and then ended up in a coma and lost the use of her left hand. That's actually really sad. That is actually really sad. That makes me kind of like feel bad for her there because that sucks. Like nobody ever wants to be in like a situation with that. So I feel for her. But oh, what was I? Barely said, oh shit, she has a roommate. Damn, LOL. So she's at a nursing home and like for the longest time when she was streaming, she didn't have a roommate. And then like in the last like week or two, somebody got put in the room with her. So I guess to be like considerate, which at least I'll give her that. I feel like if this was Foodie would just be full streaming in the room until the roommate like complains and gets her kicked out. But she's like trying to go to these like common areas, which I'm assuming is like cafeterias or like sitting lounges, etc. because it's a nursing home. That she can stream in without trying to disturb her roommate. So, hey, hopefully that goes good for her going forward. I'm gonna be real. The Xiomara coverage on this channel going forward is going to be very slim. I don't find her to be very entertaining. I don't think she has much going on that's really much to even cover. It's mostly just her eating and yapping. But if there's anything else that's kind of somewhat interesting like this was, I'll hit it. But let me know what you think. So, how have you guys been feeling about a lot of the Girl World coverage recently? I was saying it earlier, but I feel like a lot of them are all on this same wave of just eating, complaining, and doing nothing. And I'm just like, God damn. Can one of them do a fucking cartwheel? Can just one of them do something one day? So there's something somewhat entertaining that doesn't feel like I'm covering the same stream in different fonts. Raina said it's under the impression that she got a roommate because she has been there for a year with no progress, and some people think the roommate is meant to help her keep in check. I mean, that could make sense, but I could also just believe, I mean, it's a nursing home, so I could also just believe that, like, she paid for a room that's, like, meant to be a room where you have a roommate, and, like, she was lucky enough to not have one for X amount of time and then got one. Or she just couldn't afford to have a single room anymore. Like, maybe she was, like, paying extra to keep it as a single room and just couldn't do that anymore. Hard to say, but I doubt it would be, like, a motivational thing, because usually, like, any inpatient that has to do with, like, eating stuff, they don't, like, you don't compare to the other people. That's not, it's, like, actually, like, a bad practice, because if you were to start comparing to other people who are in recovery from ED, you're just slipping back into bad ED habits. And I mean, that's what it is, at least for, like, the like, anorexia, bulimia type. I don't know, I guess, if it's the same for like, binge eating disorder, but I would assume so, because I think it would be demotivating to see somebody who's, like, losing weight at a much faster rate than you. So I don't really believe that it's, like, a motivation thing. Maybe, but I just don't think that's the best practice for anybody with the eating disorder, personally. Pookie Potato said it. She's been there a year and not a pound lost. She doesn't want to change. Well, I think that's what it is for a lot of the big girls. They have no content outside just being a big girl who eats. Nobody would watch them if they were skinny. No one's gonna watch this random skinny girl eat and complain. They watch her eat herself to death. One, because it's either a fetish for the people who are into that, or two, people love to hate that shit because it's like, it makes you feel better about yourself when you watch somebody that big and you're like, damn, at least I'm not that fucking miserable. Pookie Potato said loose skin Xio isn't making money eating on camera. Exactly. We're on the same wavelength. Just Call Me Autumn XO said if she's not paying for it, then it makes sense she won't make progress. Yeah, I'm sure it's, well, if she's on disability, then I'm assuming that she probably also gets, like, government insurance or something like that, and they probably pay for her to be in the nursing home, because otherwise I would assume other stuff. Auntie Bunny said she's there for the hand and foot stuff. Yeah, okay, perfect. So I was gonna say, I would assume it doesn't really have anything to do with the eating, because nursing homes don't really do stuff for that. So if it's for, like, the hand and foot stuff, and Amanda says she's there for breath rehab, not eating disorder. Yeah. So I don't really see them, like, putting somebody in the room to motivate her to lose weight, because that's not even why she's there. I mean, I'm sure losing weight would help with all of her other problems, but what can they do if she's not motivated to lose, you know? Hex said, well, she's in the facility. Why are they letting her order food? Because, like they're saying in the show, it's not a weight loss facility. She's not there because she has eating problems. She's there because she has health problems related to how big she is makes it worse. So she needs extra care. Like, if she was, like, living on her own, she'd probably have to have somebody come help her on a daily basis at this size, I'm assuming. Pookie Potato said, but it does. A 600-pound woman isn't going to fix her drop foot. I mean, that's also a really good point. Like, a lot of the issues that she does have would be fixed by weight loss, but look, I'm gonna be real. The nursing home is just gonna keep collecting their goddamn check. Like, that's the simple answer. They don't care. Like, it's different from an outpatient, like, where you go for eating disorder treatment, because they will get a bunch of people that come in and out, and they only have a set amount of rooms. Whereas, like, a nursing home, they're just collecting a check. Like, they're like, fuck it, we'll just keep collecting the money. Like, if she has no motivation to get better, most people who go to a nursing home, that's like the last place they go to live, you know what I'm saying? So it's just like, they're not expecting her to move out tomorrow, is kind of the vibe I get. Just call me Autumn XO said, damn, it sounds like she has it made, but she's pissing her life down her leg. Yeah, I mean, I'm not surprised though, because why would she have any motivation to get better or do anything when she could just have it so easy, when the DoorDash drivers will literally bring the food to her room? Like, that's how made she's got it. She doesn't have to do anything. She just live streams for 15 minutes, eats her food on a live stream, has a fake crash out where she acts like she's in a manic episode, and then ends it. And she's like, that's my content for the day. Like, that's it. Why would she want to change and like motivate herself to do anything else when it's just like the routine she's always wanted is just be able to lay around and do nothing. And that's exactly what she gets to do there. And the worst part is it's most likely being paid by the government. That's the sad part about it. That's what I hate. Pookie Potato said, I'm just saying she doesn't want to change. I know she stares off into space, but I think she's smart enough to correlate the two. Yeah, I think she definitely doesn't want to change. I mean, if she ever wanted to change, all those weight loss shows she would have been on, all those diets she would have tried, something would have stuck. She has no motivation to actually put in effort to what it takes to not give in to an urge. Like, for her, it's just easy. She's got an urge, just give in. Like, anything that's remote, she's so lazy. Anything that is remotely work, she's, like, allergic to it. So if it's accountability, allergic, because that would mean she'd have to, like, claim she did something wrong, which in turn would mean that she might have to make some shit right, and she's lazy as fuck. If she had to admit she's the problem in her eating issues and that it's not all of her traumatic past, then she'd have to start having some sort of self-control and have some responsibility for the self-control that she has. But because she gives away the responsibility of anything, gives away the accountability of anything, we'll never see it. Psych Draw says, sounds like other people we know. The shade is crazy. Sammy said she could probably drop 20 pounds quickly by just cutting out something like soda. It's hard work, but there are so many small changes she's capable of to make at mean some difference. I don't know. Make at meet some difference. You meant something at the end there, but I get what you're saying. But yeah, no, exactly. Especially when you're that big, small little cuts like that actually would make a big difference, just because your body be like happy it's not fucking intaking soda for every meal instead of water. Like, I don't know. It's just a tough one because she'd have to have motivation, and to have motivation, you'd have to not be lazy. Uncle Bumpy's Tin of Rock said, I would much rather my taxes go to help people in need than the pockets of the wealthy drivers of the war machine. Unfortunately, people like Xio game that system and give it a bad name. Yeah, that's my problem with it, right? It's because, like, I am so okay with my tax money going to people who actually need it, right? But then there is the people like Xio who take advantage of the system and give the rest of the people on the system the bad name. So it's just like, you fucking look at situations like this where you know they're on government assistance and their entire life of just being like a lazy piece of shit is paid for them. And you're like, damn, why would I pay taxes? Like, so many people, like, I pay taxes and get pissed off. I'm like, damn, the roads ain't fixed. But this girl Xio got a fucking free housing. And it's not like, I'll be real, it's not like a nursing home is the Ritz. It's obviously not the best situation to be in, but it is free housing when you think of it that way.
A joker and a midnight wiener stroker.
After 10 years of not being motivated myself, I made a change this year. I now have my dance classes, gym classes, and I still hate exercise, but I found ways to make it fun for me. I can feel my body is so much better for it.
Well, Auntie Bunny, as someone who has seen your dancing videos, don't stress, because you were nowhere near any of the girls, size-wise. You look great. First off, never would have guessed you were even bigger whatsoever, because you look great, Auntie Bunny. Like, so serious. You look amazing. But, like, it is hard to find the motivation sometimes. I'll be real. Like, I get it. As somebody who had, like, an eating disorder on the other spectrum of things, I had to, like, motivate myself to get better, to, like, want to be healthy in a sense of, like, I don't care about my appearance and how I look as much as I care about how I feel, you know? A big reason why I started going back to the gym isn't to lose weight, because I know a lot of people go to the gym to lose weight, and people might have assumed that. No, I'm going to do specifically strength training. I don't really do any cardio at all at the gym. I'm only going to, like, lift weights and, like, make my arms, my back, and, like, my legs stronger, basically. That's the best way I can describe it. Glutes as well. But you need to have, like, motivation to push yourself to go to the gym, whether it's one way or the other. You need to have motivation to push yourself to eat right, whether it's one way or another. And it's really hard to do it when you don't have anybody in your life who has that motivation. So my biggest recommendation, being real, and it's not the most affordable thing for everybody depending on the way you try to do it, but I got a method. Let's say you want to lose weight, and you're the type of person and you, like, want to get in the gym, but you know you're not going to the gym by yourself. It's pretty hard to get you to go into the gym. 2 options. 1, you could do personal training, and you're probably looking at me crazy right now. You're like, personal training is so expensive, bitch. Nobody can afford that. Yes, you absolutely can. There's multiple different options. Depending on the gym you go to, if you go to, like, a Planet Fitness, for example, they have free personal training. Even if it's not the best personal training in the world, it's free personal training. It's somebody at least telling you the form you need to do a workout, or, like, telling you what machine to get on, just, like, being in the general area to make you feel less pressure. You know what I'm saying? Or another good option is if you don't like the one-on-one space, that also gives you, like, a general anxiety. What about group workout classes? I actually really like group workout classes because I feel like it's one of the least pressure things that I've ever done. You'll go in, there's just a room of people. They tell you what equipment. If it's your first time, the instructor usually comes up and they introduce themselves to you and they tell you what you need to grab or give you any suggestions. Like, you don't even have to go up to them. They go up to you, and then you do the workout in a room full of a bunch of other people who are also usually struggling or newbies or, like, just not that comfortable at the gym. Like, when I'm in my group workout class, there's usually one other person who's a similar age to me, and the rest of them are old ladies. And they could not care less what you're doing, because half of the exercises they can't do anyways. So they're just, like, there for the fun of it. Like, a lot of people just go for the social aspect. It's not even serious. I don't know. I think group workout classes are a good option to push you to want to go to the gym, because, like, my teacher, I usually go to one class on every Monday, except I haven't gone the past 2 weeks because she's been on vacation and they have a man teaching it. And I'm going to be real. I'm not going to go to a gym class taught by a man. That's just a personal thing. If I'm going to the gym, I will only work out with women. It's just a personal thing. I'm just scared. I don't like really interacting with men a lot. You'll learn this about me. But anywho, so she's not there for the 2 weeks, but she knows, like, all the people who come to the class. Like, she'll greet us and be like, oh, I didn't see you last week, or, oh, I haven't seen you in a couple weeks, or, like, oh, like, good to see you again this week, kind of thing. So it's a good motivation, because you'll be like, oh, shit, if I don't go to my gym class on Monday, next week she's gonna be like, or whenever they see you at the gym, they'll be like, why haven't you been in class, kind of thing. And it's not trying to shame you, it's trying to motivate you to come back. They like seeing you come back. They like doing those classes. Just saying. Auntie Bunny said S1K is a girl. He's the only man I like hanging out with. I was like a select group of friends that's like a couple guys that I'm cool with, and outside of them, I don't like most men. I'll be real. I'll just be very real. Bambano said, you don't even have to go to the gym. Walking your dog at the park for an hour or two a day will do. That's another good one. Preaching, Mono. Or even if the gym gives you anxiety, at home working out is a good option. Another way of working out a lot of people don't even think about is like swimming, going to the pool, just like doing laps around the pool. Or you could get pool weights, for example. Like if you're somebody who when you first start working out, you're really, really sore after and it's really fucking you up. Try doing pool weights because it helps take a lot of the stress off of your body, but still getting a good, like, you're getting the motion in there, you're getting the flexibility in there, and you're learning form. It's not going to be perfect compared to like how you will do it out of the water, but it's a good way to start. Walking, cardio is a great way to lose weight. Brisk, the faster you walk, the better you do. My grandpa, for example, so my grandpa had a heart attack when I was in 7th grade, and he was told he had to like totally change his life because he was pretty overweight. Like, my grandpa was 320 pounds when he had his heart attack, and he had something called a widowmaker, which is you have an artery in your heart that's curves like this kind of, and so whenever you have a heart attack, they have to go into your heart and they put something in called a stent. But when my grandpa had the widowmaker heart attack, they couldn't just like go in the like through the artery. They had to do an open heart surgery because the stent needed to be put in a specific spot where the artery curved. And basically you clog your arteries through eating fat, salt, things like that, and gaining a lot of weight. So after the heart attack, it took him a couple months to like get better, and he made a total change in his life. So, caffeine is another thing too. He had to cut caffeine. So starting off with caffeine, my grandpa is somebody who drinks a cup of black coffee in the morning and then drinks black tea all day, switched entirely to decaf, and only drinks the 1 cup of coffee in the morning as the caffeine, and then the rest is all decaf. As far as like eggs go, because he had to cut down as much eggs he could eat, like you can only have 2 yolks per week or something like that when you're like first cutting off of, because I think it's cholesterol as well, something like that. Anyways, so he cut back to only eating like egg whites. As far as eating salt in our house went, everything we ate had no salt in it out of solidarity for our grandpa. Like, we all were on this like motivation as far as food went to like help him, right? Because we cared about him. We wanted to see him like be better. And I think that's what helped him, is we all made the change with him. And I'll be real, I'm the only skinny person in my family. My whole family is overweight. They have all struggled with weight. Diabetes runs in my family very rampantly. I'm actually the only one. I think my sister doesn't have diabetes as well, but my sister is bigger. So I'm the only one in my family who's not overweight. So it helps because I have always been able to like motivate and like do these things with them. So when my grandpa first started his diet, he also had to start doing cardio as well because he had been 320 pounds. So you kind of got to like lose some weight, and not eating isn't going to be the only thing that's going to help. He was not very mobile. Like, he would like play with us as like kids and stuff. Like, he'd take us to do basketball a lot at the park. He would play basketball with us, but as we got older, that stuff stopped. So since I was in 7th grade, my thing was I would wake up before school and go on laps with my grandpa around our neighborhood. So it started off with us doing 2 laps, and it got to like, by the time I was like graduating high school, my grandpa got up to doing like 6 laps every morning at 4 a.m. Like, it's a routine. He wakes up at 4 a.m., doesn't do anything except like put his clothes on, brushes his teeth, gets out there, does his laps, and then comes back and gets ready for the day. And that's been like a really good motivation for him. And I will say very confidently, my grandpa, as of recent, because he actually did have a situation where he busted his knee and couldn't do his walks and stuff, but he told me from that, he is down to 230 pounds from since back then and now. Granted, that's a lot of years, and granted, it took time, but he's an older man and way older than a lot of these girls and way older than a lot of these people who are saying they have none of the motivation to do it. And if my grandpa could make that change in his life at 60 years old to want to add some years left to his life for the rest of his family, to lose 110 or 90 pounds, I was like, my math is bad. Lose 90 pounds to change his life at 60 years old. He's 70 now. 70 something now. He's an old man now, okay? Anybody could do it. Anybody saying they don't have the motivation, they're too old, this and that, that's on them, for real, because my grandpa did it. That's why I don't feel bad for these people. He had all the health problems in the world. He had everything stacked against him to not be able to do it, and he fucking did it. Barely Functional said, I always say fuck motivation. It's about dedication. Yes, dedication. And the biggest thing is having people in your life that are motivating or like dedicated to your path. Like that's a huge thing too. A lot of these people isolate themselves because other people are judging them or whatever. No, they're not judging you. They want to see you happy and healthy. Gonzo Duke says if he keeps on losing weight and walking, he can make it past 80. Yeah, he's back up to doing 2 laps now because he had this like crazy freak accident I think it was almost a year ago now, but so he was walking up our neighbor's driveway. We have my grandparents have this old Italian lady who lives next door to them, who lived next door like literally the entire time I grew up there. So she'll bring over food for my parents, usually lasagnas. They'll bring back food for her, like in the dish that she brought the food in. So she brought them lasagna, and I think my grandma either made her like lasagna back or was just bringing something over. So my grandpa was sent up the driveway to go bring the food. Well, their neighbor did not see my grandpa, and she was watering her plants. And so when she started watering, the water started going down her driveway, and she's got like one of those like really like slippery ass driveways that's just like really clean and polished. And so my grandpa not seeing the water, her not seeing my grandpa started taking a couple more steps, and he slipped down the driveway and he landed like right on his knee. So his knee got like fractured, and he had to have this like surgery that he wasn't walking for a couple months, and he did like inpatient PT, I don't know, personal training, or not personal training, physical therapy, in-person physical therapy at this place for like 6 months, like a rehab recovery center. And he's out now. He's been good for a couple months. He's been back out, but he started walking and driving and all that again, like in the past like 2 months. He's back to driving. He's walking, because he had a walker. I think he has a cane now. He might be off the cane. I don't know. It's a little confusing. But he's doing a lot better. Yeah. My grandpa's your motivation for the day. Also, welcome everybody coming in. Hi, Sherry. Also, thank you, Jess, for the most recent sub. I just yapped it up for a minute there. But hopefully that was, your inspirational story that you needed. Yeah, I love my grandpa. He's a pretty cool guy. If you guys ever want lore about my grandpa, I'm super down. He used to play in bands for most of his life. He's like a bluegrass guy. Pretty sick, I gotta admit. Alright, so really quickly, I do want to do an extra pet of the day because we are doing an extra stream for today. And I feel like it's only fitting that we include this. Where is it at? Especially because a lot of the time when we get Auntie Bunny on the stream, she's replay gang. Because I stream at a weird time for her. But she's here today, so this is the perfect time. And let me switch over to my Discord. Bye, Logie. Good to see you. Thank you for doing this. Logie's the reason we're here tonight, streaming late. I was like, oh, maybe I'll do an extra stream tonight. Logie was like, $50, do it. So, thank you again, Logie. All right. So, the second pet of the day we have Gonzalez. Look at this little guy. He's got a little mohawk, it looks like, and that kind of won me over. So it's kind of hard to choose between a lot of Auntie Bunny's different animals. Now, she does have a bunny that I will say is going to be making it in very soon as well. But look at Gonzalez. He's so cute. I also love that he's got this like one little like tan spot on his little foot. Yeah, Auntie Bunny has a zoo, basically. For those of you guys who don't know, she fosters, like, all different types of, like, small animals, like rabbits, guinea pigs, etc. She said, oh, that's piss. That makes it even funnier. Not him pissing on his foot. Not him pissing on his foot. I love Gonzalez. So Gonzalez is officially our second pet of the day. W Little Mans. And if you guys want to have the potential for your pet to win Pet of the Day, we do one every time we stream. All you have to do is take a picture of your pet, make sure the name of your pet is somewhere in the photo or potentially video. If you want to do a video, I can do that too. And drop it in the pets tab of the Discord. Here, I'll show you guys what it looks like in case you've never seen it. Give you guys like a little potential of all our potential contestant winners. Look at all these pet photos we got. Wow, it's just full of all these amazing photos of all of these animals. And yours could be in there too. And you could win a little award for your pets. Which reminds me, I need to drop both of the awards from today into the main chat so that all of you guys can see our winners. Shout out to Raven and Gonzalez. Boom. The winners. Yeah, it's so exciting. It's one of my favorite things to do over on this channel. Also, I will say, upon popular request, a lot of you guys have asked me to bring back an animal segment of some sort where I like teach you guys about animals. So on Wednesdays, I'm going to be adding a mini segment in at the very end of the stream called Wild Wednesdays, where we go over some potential endangered animal news, teaching you guys about an animal you may not have heard of, etc., etc. Because I feel like that would be fun to get back into. I miss being able to teach you guys about stuff, and I love animals. Barely Functional said, you are so freaking cute, Say, making the little rewards. Dude, I felt bad, because I was like, I'm giving out Pet of the Day, but I'm not, like, making awards for everybody, so I started making the awards. And I want to be fucking clear. These are not made in AI. I hand make these fucking awards for everybody's animals. So before somebody says, AI slap award, no. I hand make them with love and care on Canva. But I do make them myself. Butterfinger said steak is live if you redirect. Well, it's actually up to you guys. I'll leave it up to you. I do have one last thing I could talk about, and I see I've got 100 people here, so before, I don't want to redirect yet if you guys still want to hang out. Do you guys care about some potential Love Island tea? It is some juicy ass shit. It's not from the most recent season, though. It is from, because most recent season is what, season 6? Or season 8, so it's from season 6, I believe. If you know who Janae and Kenny are, I could give you guys some of the tea because, bro, it's a little fucking wild, but I need to give you guys a bit of a backstory first, and to be able to do that, we'll use actually an old Spill Sesh video, because it's got some of the screenshots that we need. It's not really anything that she says here that matters, but we got some of the tea. It's obviously Danny said, yes, please talk about Nene. All right, we're in, y'all. We're in.
Pages. She answered.
All right, so let's scroll back. All right. So to give you guys, we'll skip like her version of the recap because I can just give
everyone was saying
a version of the recap. Basically, oh, it's still on the Discord. My bad. I was like, wait, where's my Love Island people? Not the split between them already. Here's a better version. So these two people right here, these were third place winners of Love Island season 6, I believe it is. So Janae here, stunning, gorgeous. She is part of what is known as PPG, which came out of that Love Island season. They are by far the three most, like, some of the most famous contestants ever is this woman here, Janae Craig, Leah Kate B, and Serena Page. So they formed like a little trio. People loved like the girl power they had on that season. It was truly one of the best seasons ever. Now, she paired up with this guy, Kenny, and I'm gonna be real, I never liked Kenny. He always rubbed me the wrong way. A bunch of people were quick to like be like, oh, I like how he treats Janae, but I always got a vibe from him that he kind of jumped. Like, he went from being like, I'm not really interested in Janae to like, now he's like, I'm all for her. So it always rubbed me the wrong way. But following the season ending, they actually stayed together in a relationship for, I believe, a year afterwards. It was a long-term relationship. And then all of this shit happened. So let me go ahead. I'll honestly just skip to the text or the parts of the video. So starting off, so they went to a David Dobrik birthday party, and this is the night before that it was announced that they broke up. So here are the clips that come out of that.
Kenny had posted on his Instagram story him and Janae at David's birthday, and then Harry Jowsey even posted a clip of them on his Snapchat of the two of them slow dancing. So everyone was like, you know, what happened?
So there had been rumors floating around that coming from this party that happened at David Dobrik's, because this was on Saturday night and it got announced on Sunday, that they were broken up, and it was like through TMZ or whatever. People were like, oh shit, like there must have been a fight that happened at David Dobrik's party. People that were at the party have since come out and said there was no fight. But this is what got posted to Janae's Instagram story at the time. She said, "Hi, my loves. Thank you for all of your love and support. It means the world to me. As you know, Kenny and I are no longer together. Please know that I've seen all the breakup theories and none have matched up to how terrible and disgusting and disappointing it truly is. Discovering that someone you loved isn't who you thought they were, and that the relationship that you were building hasn't been genuine since day one has been truly devastating. Thank you for respecting my privacy. And please know, as a child of God, I will always be okay." Following this post, he was unfollowed by pretty much the entire cast of his season of Love Island. Not just the cast, he was also unfollowed by Ariana Madix, who is the host of the season, who is like not really in the tea usually, but she unfollowed him and everybody did as well. And then his post that he made after she did, the past few days have been incredibly difficult. I've been quietly sitting with a lot of emotions and doing my best to process everything privately. Breakups are never easy, especially in the public eyes. Sometimes, despite how deeply you care for someone, you come to the hard truth that the relationship was not something that could last long term. I'll always be grateful for the time that we shared and the memories we created. I release this chapter with no ill will, only a hope that Janae's path forward brings her nothing but happiness. Now, buckle up because we're about to get into some of the tea, but before we do, I gotta mention something. When this came out, they were about 3 episodes in to a spin-off Love Island show, the first ever spin-off Love Island show that happened, called Love Island Beyond the Villa. The main stars of that season were season 6 cast. So Janae and Kenny's relationship was a big part of the show. And one of the things that people started to note very quickly into it was that there was trouble on the rocks. There was fights happening between them on the show that were like little spickles, where he was saying he wanted to live on his own, she wanted to live together. They ended up getting apartments right next to each other in the same apartment building, but not living together per his request. So it started a bunch of rockiness. So people weren't really that surprised to see this breakup post when it came out. But then there was more. Janae posted, "At Kenny Rodriguez, shut the fuck up, you manipulative liar. You not taking accountability and telling people the type of person you really are is insane to me. My first statement was me being nice. Do not piss me off." So people saw this and were like, okay, there must be tea. And then there's more. Leah Kate B, one of the other women from the season, who was known to be like best friends with Janae, commented on a clip that Kenny posted on his Instagram of him and Miguel, which is Leah's boyfriend, that they met. They both met on season 6 of Love Island. She commented on this clip he posted from Beyond the Villa and said, "Delete my man off your page, you clout demon." Okay? So immediately everybody knew things were definitely more serious than what it came to be. Leah also posted to her story, at Kenny Rodriguez, "Put a sock in it, chat GBT head ass. Tell the truth for once. Racist, clout/money hungry, and a scammer since day one. Trying to make it seem like it's something it's not. Don't worry, our Nay is blessed and highly favored." Now, Janae, obviously, is a black woman. Kenny is, a couple people have said online that they believe he's mixed. No, fully a Hispanic man. Important to remember for what we're about to get into. Serena, the third part of PPG, the winner of Love Island Season 6, said a narcissist and a racist in comment response to that story, okay? Now, Liv, also from Season 6, had this to say on her story. And by the way, the post that's in the middle here is just Kenny's post that we already read out. She says, "Your pathetic excuse for a story is laughable. I can't even put into words how good of a person Nene is and how hard it is to watch her go through something like this. At Kenny Rodriguez, I hope this gives you the clout you always wanted, you fucking loser." Crazy. Okay, and then Janae reposts the story that Liv made, calling him a clout demon and a pathetic loser. And then you have Liv posting the picture of his response sent to ChatGPT, asked ChatGPT, "Was that written by AI?" And ChatGPT says yes. Then Leah posts on her story, "Mercury retrograde taking out the trash. This is the month of clout chasing losers, I guess," and said someone had to say it. Now, this post right here is where we get the real tea. So Charmaine, not from Love Island Season 6 whatsoever, is actually one of Janae's best friends before the season, after the season, posted what happened. "My advice for women in relationships: if you have access, go through your man's phone today. Search keywords like, I don't like black women. I thought I would get more money from this. I'm faking this relationship. Going on the show would be for clout. I can't wait to be done with this so I can fuck hella bitches." Keep in mind, they spent almost a year in this relationship together. Finds out, going through his phone, and she later ends up like briefly talking about this on a few different podcasts. She found out, going through his phone, through chats he had with his friends, that he directly said he doesn't like black women at all, which is so disgusting to be in a relationship with a black woman for a whole year. Like, people's preferences, you can make your arguments, make your fucking whatever. But to be in a relationship with her for a year and say that nasty ass shit to people while pretending to be in love with that woman is some sick shit. It's some sick psychotic behavior, I gotta admit. And then on top of that, to admit that you've only been using her for money, because part of the thing that came out of Love Island Season 6 was they got a lot of brand deals. Raising Cane's did a commercial using the two of them in it. I know a lot of skincare brands reached out to the both of them because Janae has like flawless skin. So she did a lot of skincare brands, a lot of makeup companies. She became like a signed model after this, and he would kind of just be the boyfriends hacked on. And she's finding all of this out a year after. And now, keep in mind, this all happened like a year ago now. So this is all about a year old. But you're probably like, why are we talking about this today, Zay? Because his head ass went on a fucking podcast after sending her a cease and desist about this a year ago. He went on a podcast 2 days ago to talk about this shit. He did. And we're gonna watch it. So we're gonna skip because he does a whole hour talking about how their relationship started. But I'm gonna be real. If you want to see how their relationship started, just go watch season 6 of Love Island. Like, you could skip all that. John Notway with the 2 said, I never typed hella bitches anywhere. That's weird. I mean, look at this guy. TBS is disconnecting. We're reconnected. Education connection. Okay. So this is when he starts talking about the relationship breaking down. And we might do this in 2 parts because I will say this podcast long as fuck. And there's a lot of shit in here. But if you guys want, we could go for a while on this. It's just up to you and your interest in this. Just let me know in the chat if at any point you're like, this is getting boring or any of that.
Yeah. And then how long did you guys officially date after the show?
I think it was, if I'm not mistaken, 11 months.
Okay.
That we dated. Mm-hmm.
So like I said, pretty much a year.
And what do you think it was?
I know my facts.
Like, how hard is it to actually have a successful relationship coming off of a show like that and then just being thrown into the limelight? Because I think like Serena and Cordell are still together and Leah and Miguel are still together. From the other season, from season 7, I don't really know who's still. I don't think any of them are still together. I mean, TJ and Iris, but they weren't even really together on the show.
On the show. Mm-hmm.
Like how, like, you know, when did
it is pretty, for me, you know, when you come out, it's like we're dealing with so much change and you're also getting to know this person.
We're going to speed it up.
The person that I met on the show, the day that I came back from Casa and that conversation that we had, just the level of maturity that we had when we spoke about, you know, I hurt, you know, she told me, you hurt me. You brought her back.
I'm going to give a little bit of context. Kenny was a bombshell on his season. A bombshell means he wasn't one of the starting out guys, but he came in like a little bit later in the season. Janae picked him over another guy that was heavily pursuing her. And then they split up to do the Casa Amor thing. And he brought another girl back from Casa and she didn't bring another guy back. So she felt very hurt by that. But he went like... Everyone said he went above and beyond to show her he cared about her after that. I'm gonna be real. I watched that shit and I was like, he's doing the bare minimum, and she just was so into him, she fell for it. And that's not me saying like she's like gullible or vulnerable or anything. She had everybody like telling her to pursue it because she was so into him, you know?
And it evoked a lot of emotion out of me. Like the last thing I want to do is intentionally hurt someone. And but the level of maturity, like the calm that we spoke about that made me think like there's really nothing that we can't handle on the outside.
And there was a conversation, that conversation he's talking about also happened on camera. She was very level-headed about the whole thing. She didn't scream, she didn't cry at him. She just made it known. Like, she's like, it honestly hurts me that you picked her over me, knowing I had the opportunity to choose somebody over you the entire time that I've been here and I picked you. Like, similar to that conversation that Anaya and KC had at movie night that we saw, except she wasn't screaming, she wasn't crying or anything. It was just very like her just like, that's the thing about Janae that people liked about her the whole season. She was just very calm, cool, collected, and very well spoken. So people thought she was just like genuinely like America's sweetheart. She was just so perfect. That's the best way to put it. Like Janae is just like, I don't know how you could ever see anything wrong with her. She was just so chill.
Outside. If that's how we're going to address conflict, if that's how we're going to address problems, then that's perfect, right? You're hearing where I'm coming from, I'm hearing where you're coming from, and we're coming to an understanding. But I think when we started dating and when we got into this outside world with all the change, you know, it's just a lot of pressure, a lot of...
the real answer and what he just can't admit to himself, it's not that it was a lot of pressure. It's that you had the opportunity to now fuck a bunch of bitches on the outside world. You're not secluded in a villa where the only one who wanted you was Janae. Like, let's be real. And that's the fucked thing to say about it is I'm really not surprised that things came out the way it did, because I always got a bad feeling about him. I thought he was a clout chaser, and it feels like the only reason he was with Janae is because that was his only option in the villa, and then leaving, he wouldn't have had the same clout he did. He wouldn't have got the same brand opportunities and made the same money he did if he wasn't in that relationship with Janae, because nobody gave a fuck about Kenny.
Of a lot of stress, and yeah, just like any relationship, like we had issues, we had problems, we had conflict, and it was hard. It was hard to keep up that, and especially to keep up that image on social media, right? Because we had trust, right? I'm never going to put her in a bad light. I was never going to put her in a bad light on social media. And I was expecting her to do the same, regardless of what we were arguing about, regardless of the problems that we were facing, right? There's our privacy, our intimacy, our private life that only you and me need to know. Only you.
Bro is upset that her friends put on blast that he was racist and dogging her behind the scenes. If you consider that your private life, buddy, then man, you would hate to be on the future seasons of Love Island where before you even get in the villa, they pull up every clip of you ever saying a slur and get you kicked out the villa.
And me need to discuss, and I guess things started changing.
Like she wanted stuff more out there and you wanted stuff more private? Or she was more open to having this like kind of celebrity?
I wasn't used to the camera being in my face. Yeah. I wasn't used to doing content. It was uncomfortable for me.
Yeah, he ate that shit up for every brand opportunity he got and rode the coattails off Janae till the very end.
She had a YouTube video that she would drop every Sunday. And that was like her goal, to make her YouTube video and to build her channel, which props to her. She's taking steps, right, to make a YouTube. That's a huge...
Oh, yeah.
Hell yeah, doing the damn thing.
But, right, like after an argument, we're going to film your YouTube? Like how I'm putting
bitch, that's work. I'ma be real. There's definitely been times where me and S1K have been like had a fight that day and I gotta go on and do a stream. That's just how life works. Couples fight sometimes, but you still gotta go on and do your work. If your relationship is so unstable that you have to have a fight and that has to be your whole day, that says everything about the state of your relationship. Fights happen in couples, especially when you've been together for a long time. If you've been together for more than 6 months, you are usually going to have arguments, especially if you live together or you spend a lot of time together. People are different. People argue. But to then say that, oh, she's in the wrong for going and filming a YouTube video, she's got to do work. That's her job. Her job is a content creator, so she's got to go on and do a YouTube video. That's what she's got scheduled for the day. She's not going to then delay her content creation because you chose to pick a fight with her.
A tough situation. Like I have feelings. I have these emotions that, there's things that we're talking about. We have a problem, and then you want me to go and film a YouTube. Like everything's okay. Like everything is fine. And yeah, it was just things like that where it's like, I want to be real. I want to be as real as I can. I want to be as real as possible with you. And if you're putting a camera where we're doing this TikTok trend, I'm not there. I'm not.
So you want to be as wow, sorry. I had a whole moment. Real as possible with her, but you couldn't, so you would, any issue you had with her was never said to her face. You would just dog her behind the scenes to your friends. Right.
Emotionally there. I'm stuck on what we're talking about. I'm stuck on the issue that we had and our conflict. And so I guess the pressure to like release content, the pressure to be together, there was that. Like we're like machines, right? We posted something. Well, we're posting something tonight too, or the next day, right? Whereas me, I'm like, I'll post something once a week and I'm fine. I'll be all right. Like I was easing into. I went from someone who was posting twice a year, 3 times a year to now, dance.
So just because you don't want to post every day doesn't mean she doesn't have to. That's your choice as a content creator, and as someone coming into content creation, she can choose to do the damn thing, and she did. Also, really quickly, I'm gonna hit my AC because it's starting to get a little hot in here. I just realized it's like 70 something degrees in here. I'm like, damn, I gotta turn that shit on. Oh my god, my shorts rode up like crazy.
are you, show us a chest workout, or what's your wardrobe like? What's your fashion like? It was like a lot of, just in 1 second, I now had to be open. I had to be open with everything that I do, with everything that I did. So yeah, those periods were tough.
Yeah, you become like.
Mukin said, look like Zay was wearing undies for a second. Yo, I know. I'm wearing like those shorts that are like those flowy types, and it just like rode up all strange. I was like, oh shit. I'm like, I promise I'm wearing, hold up. I promise you I'm wearing tie-dye little flowy shorts. But they just like rode up and got like stuck on my thighs.
Like puppets to society, what they want you to do. And like I've noticed that a lot, where it's just weird. Like there's some people that just stay themselves after Love Island, coming off of a Love Island show, or something like that, and like you could tell that it's just them. And then there's the ones that come off and like they're doing TikTok dances, they're doing this, they're doing. It's just like it seems so inauthentic, but it seems like there's someone behind them telling them like, yo, you got to do these trending videos, you got to do this, the brand deals need to pay. You know what I mean? Because they get paid when you get paid. Like I get, you know what I'm saying? I understand the thing. And
that's where I was trying to find the balance, like the balance between authentic and producing content, right? Because the second you put up a phone up, you're being recorded. Yeah. You know where you're. So it's like, is that? But I'm comfortable now. I think after I got off that show, I was completely Kenny, and grateful that people really loved, they connected with me, and that.
Can I be real? I hate when I hear people say shit like this. You like this like authentic whatever bullshit. Just be yourself. I get on stream every day and I don't put on a fucking character. I'm literally the same. If you guys catch me in the VC, the only thing you might say about me is I'm a little more quiet. The only difference is I don't have to talk for a set amount of 2 hours, whatever the fuck, however long I've set to do my stream for that day, by myself, and I'm the only one talking because I'm in a VC with other people. I'll talk a little less. I'm the same fucking person. I hate when people say shit like this because it's like you're just self-admitting that you chose to go on the internet and present yourself as a phony because your natural personality is not good enough. You as a person are either a shitty person who no one would be interested in watching, or you yourself are boring as fuck. That's just the real answer. I'm confident enough to feel like people will like me for myself, so I don't feel like I have to put on this fake version of me to everybody to make them like me. The only thing I'd ever say was, honestly, being in the LCU, I said this before, I'm really happy being out because I can say the things that I never felt like okay, right. So there's YouTube TOS, and there's like, you got to stay within the realms of that on YouTube. But then being in the LCU, it felt like there was like another wall of like LCU things you can't say, you know what I'm saying? And I don't like to feel silenced and like I'm not allowed to speak my own opinions or talk against things that I think are fucked up or wrong. And I felt like that was something that I was silenced into there, and something I won't allow myself to be put into again. And I have apologized before for feeling like I allowed myself to be complacent in the things that happened there. But this is on another level. This is like you are in your own space. You can do your own content creation, be whoever you want to be, and you're still choosing to be somebody else.
That has given me just all the confidence to like post a video of me dancing salsa or cumbia or whatever, right? I'm in my kitchen just having fun. That's what I did on the show. That represents who I am. And not letting those comments really dictate what I do or the person that I am. It was tough. They were like, you look like a geography teacher. You're dressed like Sunday's best. You're dressed like you're going to church every night. Like, what do you do? Like, everyone's in streetwear and Kenny's there with his button up and his slacks.
And your shitty ass haircut, your bobo ass haircut.
Well, that's how I feel like I look good. I'm confident in that outfit. And that's, so like things like that where they would, bro, do I really need to change my wardrobe? Do I really need to like improve what I'm wearing? I'm a public figure. And I remember like, of the first week I got out, I went out to the grocery store and someone took a picture of me, and I'm just in flip-flops, like a white tank, and it's all over Twitter, and people are just roasting me. Like, what the hell? What is he wearing?
Because you looked like a fucking bobo ass idiot.
And like for 2 months, 3 months, my house was my apartment was my safe space. I didn't want to go out. I didn't want to see people. Like I was like embarrassed. Like I had this like imposter syndrome where it's like, yeah, that Kenny went on Love Island, but like that Kenny wasn't ready for all this, like all this.
All right, we're going to pause a little bit and we're going to skip ahead to when he stops having his woe is me party and when he gets back into talking about like how the public opinion had to deal with his relationship ending or whatever. So bum. Here we go.
Yeah, and I think people forget that you guys are real people. they look at you guys on a TV show, like your TV characters. So they treat you as such, like you're not. And then when you come out into the real world, I think that's why there is this, there is a lot of pressure, especially for you guys, because I believe season 6 was like the first one that like really popped off where all your guys like lives really changed, you know? I remember like Rob didn't do too well coming off the show, right? Like he.
And while that's a fair point, while this is a super fair point, is that season like blew up in a way that like other seasons hadn't. You know, inherently by signing up to be on a reality television show that you are getting eyes on you. You are signing up to potentially become a celebrity. While this is the first season where every cast member blew up following the season, every other season had cast members that blew up and got semi-famous from it. So I don't know why he's acting like he didn't know, like people were gonna go follow him on Instagram and why people were gonna go scrutinize him in public. Bitch, you signed up to be on a reality show. And even if you weren't one of the people who signed up and the casting reached out to you, you agreed to be on a reality show.
Was pretty messed up and was like, I gotta go back to the farm.
Go back to the farm and get rooted and
yeah. So it's like, that was the first time I saw the power of a reality show, but I had compassion for you guys where I'm like, yo, you guys are just like 20-year-old kids. You guys were normal every day, just working a regular job and you're throwing it. And now you come off the show and you're a celebrity.
And you take a risk. I think you take a risk, right? Because I mean, I had 2 months of PTO, right? And that's what did it for me. And my boss, luckily I had a boss that said, go ahead, right? Do it. Why not? You're young, you're fit. Like, go ahead, do it. And yeah, you just have to say yes. Even with this last show, I don't speak Spanish well. And I had so many doubts, like, they're gonna clown me. Like I speak like an American speaks Spanish, like sometimes. But you just have to take risks. Like the opportunity comes and you have to take it.
Yeah. So after the show, life happens, and then you do Beyond the Villa. What was the Beyond the Villa experience like for you? Because there was one moment in there where you guys were still together at that point.
We were together though.
Yeah.
The entire show when we filmed there.
Yeah. And you kind of seemed like you wanted some space.
So I'll be clear. Remember earlier when I said 3 episodes in is when those Instagram posts came out? So the entire season of Beyond the Villa had already been filmed, but they were doing that thing where they released episodes weekly. So even though mid-season they broke up, those episodes had already been filmed and they were already like together in them.
But there was already, in the world's eyes, there was already space between you guys because you didn't live together, right? She wanted to feel closer to you. Like, what was that whole experience like? Now you're not stuck in a villa. This is kind of the real world. Yes, there's cameras. But now you're doing this as celebrity stars in public.
It was hard because it's like at that point in the relationship, I think I was checked out.
Really?
Of the relationship. I had expressed to her already that I wasn't happy.
I'm gonna be real. It was very obvious to me. I didn't watch the full season of Beyond the Villa because I'm gonna be honest, the show is really boring. Unless you deeply personally care about these people's lives and their relationships, you won't find the show entertaining. And I don't deeply personally care. I care about the tea. Like, I'm here for the cheese, man, bitch. That's it.
That my mental health was taking a toll. And I mean, through the screen, people would say like, if you could see me through the screen, I was checked out. Like, imagine what's happening behind the scenes. Like, just like the conversations that we would have and then things. And I didn't want to do that on the show. Like, I didn't want to do that on the show.
Oh,
and
this
put
is
that
on
out there, like everything that we
Can I say, guys, this is on 1.5 speed. Am I crazy or does this guy talk so fucking slow?
Dealing with, it stayed private. It stayed between us. But that was tough. That was tough, and I didn't want to live in the same apartment. I wanted to have my space. But yeah,
I just put it on 1.75 speed because 1.5 was not enough.
It was a difficult time. Yeah, it was just like every 3 days, every 4 days, or something. It was an argument, conflict. She actually she broke up with me on when we were not when we were filming, but like during the time that we were filming, she broke up with me. Like she had the keys to my room. She came in and said, "Oh, we're done. We're done." I'm like, okay.
He says so much, but nothing at all. Like, he just keeps yapping, and it's like, okay, what are you saying? So why did she break up with you? What did you do that made her come into your apartment from next door and break up with you in the middle of filming a reality television season? Because notice how he just omits anything he's done. It's always like, oh, yep, she came in and broke up with you. Why?
It's fine. And she comes back 2 hours later and she's like, how did that feel? We're back together now. How did that feel? Those 2 hours that we were broken up. and I think she was like trying to seek emotion.
Are you trying to cry? Are you trying to cry, motherfucker? This is so simple. I can tell you exactly why she did that. You are literally cold-hearted. You come off like a fucking robot. ChatGPT Corbin, bro, learned the blueprint from this guy. And he's like, well, why was she coming in trying to evoke emotion out of me? Because you seem like you didn't give a fuck. You seem like you didn't care. And if you want to break up, then break up with her. Be done with the relationship. But don't do this like you're going to keep leading her on under the pretense of like, oh, we're together, but you're checked out. I hate when guys say things like that. When do you ever hear women say, oh, well, I was checked out of the relationship? It's just like, you being checked out, just break up. At that point, just break up. Yeah, at least Corbin was a little bit funny. Melanie!
I didn't give that to her ever. Right? I'm expressing to you that I'm hurt, that I don't want to be in the relationship, and you're insisting. No, you're insisting that you're gonna change, that you're gonna treat me with respect, that you're not gonna curse at me, that you're just treat me, let me be the man in the relationship. Treat me with some respect, with some kindness, with some care.
Let me be the man in the relationship? Or you step up and be the man? A woman shouldn't have to let you be the man in the relationship. You should be the man, and then like what? Put your fucking britches on and get to work, buddy. Go get in the coal mines. You want to be the man in the relationship. You better be working your 9 to fucking 5 and making sure she don't have to. You won't even live with her, and you're saying, let me be the man in the relationship. You're not doing any of the things that a stereotypical man in a relationship would do. You want to go off of the fucking, relationship stereotypes. Oh, let me be the man? Then provide for her.
Yeah, and I think, that just filming in the Beyond the Villa it's hard to me. I want to be real. I want to be real. And at the same time, like, I'm not going to do that to her. I'm not going to, we're filming today, and no, I'm not going to, my mom didn't raise me like that, to do that to someone. So it was difficult. It was difficult. It wasn't the best experience to film Beyond the Villa. I think if I would have,
then drop out of the show. You could have done that.
But now I think, thinking back on everything that's happened, right? Just tell her on a day that we're filming. Respectfully. And that's what I've learned. Like, you can respectfully disagree with people. You don't need to stay in silence. And that's how I felt for the majority of the relationship. Just, if I ever disagreed, well, it was interruption. It was, and I'm like, what is she gonna do? If she erupts, what is she gonna do? Like, there was a time when she had planned a girls' trip to LA and with her friends, and I asked, hey, am I invited? Can I go? Oh no, it's a girls' trip. Okay, have fun. And the day of the trip, I guess they were having a grand old time. The boyfriends came over in LA, and I'm in New York with my family, spending time with my family. And then the next day in the morning, she's texting me like, you need to come. You need to buy your flight. You need to come. And I went with my family. You told me that it was a girls' trip. I can't. I'm here spending time with them. And then she goes on social media and she like tags all the airlines, like, get Kenny a flight.
Why is bro in tears over this? And why do I feel like this is just a straight lie? Because you literally went from asking if you could go on the trip to then you see... Now, an important piece of information he's leaving out of this is him and Janae were one of the only couple pairings who did not live in LA. So let's start there. So when Janae would go to visit Serena Cordell and Leah and Miguel in LA, Miguel low-key didn't even really live in LA either. Miguel is from the UK and just spent a lot of time in LA because he's with Leah. I think he did eventually move to LA, but at the time he wasn't. So they would all go to LA to meet up. So she went under the pretense thinking it's a girls' trip, and then at some point in time, the boyfriends came over, so she probably felt bad thinking, oh, well, Kenny asked if he could come, but I thought this would be a girls' trip. So she sends him a text saying, oh, well, you can come out, and he's like, oh, well, I can't come. She's probably out here thinking, oh, well, he can't come because he can't afford a last-minute flight that's super expensive. So she does, like, the sweet thing of being like, oh, airlines, buy this guy a flight. Probably joking. Like, let's be real. Most airlines aren't buying him a flight. And he's literally like in tears over this, acting like he's a victim, even if he's with his family or whatever the fuck it is. What, like, why'd you ask to go to begin with? That's my confusing part. If he was spending time with family and it's so serious that he couldn't leave to go on this trip, why did he ask to go on the trip to begin with? Because now after the fact, now that she says you can come on the trip, now you're like, being pissy about, I don't know. It's just kind of coming off, well, you didn't let me go to begin with, so now I don't want to come.
Sorry.
Dude, you're good.
Hi, Exile.
It's just, it's hard because it's just like, that's our privacy.
Thank you for the flower.
You think there was more things that the world like didn't see and then painted you in a light that, you know, isn't really you?
Yeah, I think the world has just gone, or not the world, I'm not going to generalize, but many people have just gone with, you know, a story of her friends. I mean, of course, it's a biased source. Like, it's not a reliable source of her friends, and that's the narrative that you go with. I mean, even companies, right, are profiting off of the situation and using, you know, my personal life.
Your personal life. Bro, if the texts weren't real, if what Charmaine said, because you know that's definitely what he's talking about, when he's like, oh, her friends came out and said the side of the story, because Janae never came out and said shit. Why? He sent her a cease and desist, saying she couldn't talk about it, and then his Bobo head ass went and got on this fucking podcast to talk his shit about the relationship, which is actually insane that you sent somebody a cease and desist that they couldn't talk about it, and then you're gonna get up here and talk your shit? Like, bitch, let her say her side then. Anywho, so he's pissed that her friend Charmaine put out his scummy ass fucking side of the text. She didn't even show what the text said. She did it in the most, like, casual, discreet fucking way possible, and people just put fucking 2 and 2 together, and he's upset about that. He's upset that Brand saw his shitty behavior and made fun of him. Maybe don't be a shitty person then.
As like a marketing ploy, right? Oh, because I've stayed silent. Because I've stayed silent, does that mean? That doesn't mean, right? You haven't asked me for mine. You haven't asked me for my side of the story. And it was just difficult. The last day that we filmed Beyond the Villa, we had one of our biggest arguments to date, and I ignored her for 2 days. Like, I was cut up, done.
Damn, Exile's drinking. Should I drink? I don't know. If we get 5 members, I'll drink.
And she went through, like, my family members. Like, is Kenny okay? What's wrong with him? How do I fix the situation? I was like, why are you insisting? I'm telling you that this is affecting my mental health. I'm telling you that I could be in France right now in Cannes and with the most beautiful view, and I'm miserable.
Then do that. What is he crying about? Go do that then. Go be in France and Cannes and end this fucking relationship and stop being a piss poor fucking excuse for a man. Sit there saying, I want to be the man in the relationship. Stand up. Be the man. Be on your own 2 fucking feet and fly her out to France, Cannes, whatever the fuck. We got Auntie Bunny with the 5 hot dog gang gifted member, and we got Heck with the 5 hot dog gang gifted member. We're drinking. It's Batty shot o'clock. Let me grab a cup and my drink and a chaser, and I'll be like 2 seconds. They're all right in the vicinity of each other. Wait, I'll put it on stream starting soon, because this might be my longest time leaving so far, and I want you guys to just watch a chair stream. That just feels diabolical if I make you watch a chair stream. Well, I guess I'll leave it on my face till I get my video music pulled up for you. There, let's see what song it is. Wait, this song is literally called Stalling. Perfect. Oh shit, you said what if a kitty appears? Okay, I'll leave it on full screen, but the music playing. Alrighty, we're back and ready to go. Sorry, I had to use the bathroom, and then he was like, do you want IHOP? And I was like, actually, I don't know. Maybe I do want IHOP. I don't know. Maybe I do. Maybe I don't. But we're back on this. So, I'll get poured up while we keep watching this.
And she went through my family, and we ended up getting back together, and I'm gonna change. And it was just like that cycle. It was just that cycle over and over again. And I think our most important conversation to date I had with her in the Hamptons. We went with Revolve, and it was like if I'm not mistaken, a palm tree festival. And it just wasn't sitting right with me that we were in the relationship still. It wasn't sitting right with me. And I sat down with her and expressed the same thing, but this time I was like, we're business partners too. We're getting brand deals together. This is my life, right? I'm living off of this now. I don't have my job, right? We're getting brand deals together. I'm getting my brand deals separately. You are as well. And I told her, how do you want to proceed?
How do you proceed? Do your brand deal separately. And what the hell does that got to do with... Like, can I be real? What the fuck is he even trying to say here? Like, what does their relationship have to do with their brand deals and their, like, partnerships? You could literally just separate from the relationship and do your own thing. Like, I really don't get that, but...
How do you want to proceed? But this relationship is, do you want a platonic like, this is not working out. For my sanity, for my mental health, this is not working out. And I let that off my chest. I said, yeah, we're business partners. She goes, no, like, let's continue this relationship. I'm going to change. And I just want to clarify, like, I'm not a victim in this at all, right? I stayed in that relationship knowing full well that it was doing more harm than good.
You can't sit here and say, well, I know I'm not a victim in this, while acting like a victim, while like sulking and being like, this was so hard. Just leave then. If everything about her is so awful, like, I have definitely, like, I get what he's talking in this, like, okay, there are things that you're not going to like about your partner sometimes. And then you have to have that tough conversation where you're either asking them to change or you are going to accept them for the way they are, but you have to probably vocalize to them that, hey, this is something I don't like about you, because it'll probably be something that causes fights later. And if you don't want them to change, or they're not willing to change, or whatever it may be, that's just life, right? And if she's saying, okay, well, she's gonna change and make these improvements, and you're in your head literally saying, before that even comes out of her mouth, you've already given up and known she's not gonna change, you should have left. That is so fucked, to keep somebody on the hook of like, oh, well, maybe I won't, maybe I might. I can't stand people like that. Dude, also, Heck, thank you. Thank you, Heck. I hate hearing about mental health. It's used way too much. Everybody has issues. Exactly. They're always like, my mental health this, my mental health that. Everybody out here has mental health shit that they have to fucking work on. Like, if your mental health was so bad, why would you go on reality television to begin with? It's not, though. You're just trying to use that an excuse for, like, your shitty behavior.
Why do you think she wanted to stay with you so bad? Because there's no way, if you saw the relationship one way, there's no way she didn't see something.
Because he love-bombed the shit out of her for the second half of the Love Island season he was on. There's like literally this clip that went semi-viral. Some of you guys might know the TikTok audio of that guy being like, I want you, I need you. And then it's like, that's him. That's him saying that to Janae.
Thing that, like, I think might not work.
I was there for her. Like, I treated her well. Right.
Shock.
Like, I don't know, I didn't like conflict. I tried to deal with things, with warmth, with kindness. But it just,
I gotta pause. Coasty Bun said they usually do a psych check test before going on reality TV. They do 1,000,000% a mental health screening before going on Love Island. A lot of the previous contestants have talked about, like, the screening process to get on Love Island is low-key kind of strict. So whenever people find those videos coming out of, like, contestants doing fucked up shit, they're like, bro, how do you have such a crazy screening process and miss this?
That's something that I've come to learn from all this. Is like, this is my life, right?
Dude, oh my God, you know what this made me think about? Beloved Tally in the chat said, we all got a little white jacket and a padded room moment in all of us, but we just move on with it. I was literally having this conversation. It was either like yesterday or this morning, where I was talking to my friends and I was like, yeah, like I really hate hearing people say that their mental health, like they can't work a regular job because they'll have panic attacks. I'm gonna be so real. Anytime I hear somebody say that, I'm just like, that's just life, baby. Like, that everybody, like, I have worked hella regular jobs before where I've had a panic attack or a crash out or a freak out. One time, I fully quit a job by calling somebody a slur. Not anything that crazy, I'll be clear. I didn't say, like, the N-word or anything like that. I called somebody an F-slur and walked out. And I fully quit my job. I was, like, crying in the subway, crashing out. And I don't even... You know me, I'm not like that normally. I was having a freak out. I was having like a mental episode that day. And I was like, I didn't even care how bad I was freaking out. I was literally in the subway, full sobbing, crashing out, screaming, crying. And my job literally knew that that's not me. That's not who I am. And like, that's not my normal character. And called me the next day to ask if I was going to come back. And I did. Heck said I knew it was that. I mean, yeah, I'm gonna be real. That guy pissed me off to no avail. Like, to no avail. He threw some shit at me. Like, I was, like, working. I was already having a bad day. And this random customer, like, threw something at me. I don't ever usually call people that or say that. But that man made that come out of me that day, for real. Because I was like, why would you do that?
I owe nothing to anyone. Nothing. I'm going to do what I want to do at the end of the day because but I went into that villa. We went into that villa as normal people. Without the followers, without anything.
And then you chose to come out.
I went into my last show by myself.
And then you chose to come out and keep doing social media. He could have done what Aaron did from the same season and not do social media. Aaron went out, mentally was not doing well from all the social media stuff. You could physically see this toll it was taking on him because he had gotten a lot of shit because he kind of dogged Kaylor on his season. He just stepped away from social media and said, I'm going to take a step back from being a content creator and focus on like family and friends. I think he does some social media stuff now, but not like they do. He's not doing like big brand deals. He's like doing like random stuff in the UK or wherever he's from. So I don't know. I'm just saying, like, he chose this. Ghosty Bun said I had to stop working at T-Mobile because I got tired of being threatened by people. Somebody told me they were going to set me and my family on fire because his bill went up $5. Dude, when I worked at Domino's, I was 17 years old and I got in a fight with a lady because she ordered a bread bowl pasta and I accidentally boxed the wrong pasta. So like when you get labels at Domino's, if it says Alfredo pasta or whatever the fuck, it doesn't say if it goes in a bread bowl or if it goes in a tin. You need to like know based on like the label code or whatever. So, because I fucking put we had 2 Alfredo pastas and I put her bread bowl, I gave somebody else the bread bowl and she got the regular tin. I was like, well, all you need to do is come back and bring the order and I will make you a new one. She was like, okay, bet, I'll do that. This bitch comes in all pissed off and she's like, why couldn't you deliver it? Bitch, your order was pick up to begin with. It wasn't fucking delivery. It's not my fault you didn't check your pasta till your happy ass got the whole way fucking home. I'm gonna be real. All of you motherfuckers better check your order. I hate people like that when they're like, I didn't check the order till I got home. And people forget stuff. That's life. Like, there's a lot of orders sometimes and people forget stuff. Just check your order and then, like, it's nobody else's fault that you went the whole way home before checking your fucking food. Anywho, I was cool with her. I literally was like, made her a new one. It was ready, like, gonna be ready in like 5 to 10 minutes because we weren't busy from there. But the problem was she was pissed because I couldn't make the new pasta for her until she brought the other one back and I could see that we fucked up. It's not that we needed the other pasta back or anything like that, but I needed to see we fucked up. I also gave her the option to send me a picture of it to my phone and she said no and chose the option of coming all the way to the store and doing it that way. Well, it would have been ready for you if you would have just sent the picture to my phone. So anyways, after fighting back and forth with this bitch for however fucking long we fought about it, I go to the back to put the pasta in the box. This bitch grabs the fucking tip jar and chucks it at my fucking head. I am so motherfucking lucky that there was like a railing thing like between me and where she was, because if that shit would have hit my head, I would have dragged an old fucking woman that day. I would have rocked a 30-year-old bitch harder than she's ever been rocked in her life, bro. It was so fucking nuts. But shit like that used to happen at that Domino's all the time, because that Domino's was in the hood. It was a Domino's with 3 stars, not because we sucked, but because we were in the fucking hood.
Self. And yes, you can make friends and things, but this industry it's so cutthroat.
Danny said, can people stop throwing things or pouring things on your head, please? I don't know why I have so many stories like shit like this, to be real. I don't know why things like this keep happening to me in my life. If anyone should not work a regular job, it's me. Because people have to fuck with me.
My life was just numbers. My life was just numbers, views. Well, what are they giving me in this contract? Well, why? The last contract was this, and they're giving me half?
Barely said, what do you mean, old woman? And then said she was 30. Honestly, she might have been like 30 or 40. I actually don't know how old she was. I was 17. So to me, she was old. I was like, you're way too old to be this.
Did my value go down? Like, did
You
my value
did
go down
say
as a person?
Yes,
What's
it
going
did.
on? And
your value did go down as a
when
person.
the situation happened, everyone just turned their backs. People that I never thought. I had people call me and tell me, again, you're good people and everything.
Love seeing shitty men cry. This is my fuel for the day. Cry. Cry. It gives me power.
My agent, PR. It didn't matter how I treated them.
Cry! Let it out!
Part of the industry, right? They just went with. And so that part really hurt me. Now you think you.
That poor hunter will be bad. That poor hunter will be bad. Cry harder, bitch.
Make all these friends, and because when everything goes wrong, there were a few people that were there.
No one should be there for
T-Pain
your
said
bitch
on Shannon
ass.
Sharp's podcast, he was like, if you meet them in the industry, he goes, that's not your friend. Because if you knew them before you got there, that could be your friend. Because if you meet them in there, you guys are coworkers. You're not.
That's also just not always true. Whenever I hear people say things like this, I'm like, things like the LCU, yeah, that applies. But just in normal content creation, you can have other friends that are content creators. I definitely don't have like friends in the content creation space, I'd say, yet. I definitely have like associates and people that I talk to. But this is just like a personal issue. Like, if you can't have friends in the content creation space, it's usually because you're like a self-serving person and you can't deal with being around other self-serving people. People are naturally selfish. That's something you're gonna have to learn about life. Everybody's out to do good for themselves, but there are people that actually do care about the benefit of others while being inherently selfish. It's like not hard. This is just your personal issue.
Friends.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
I see that, and that's hard though. It's like I'm just a normal dude, right? I want friends. I want people that want me for me, right? That that call me not asking for anything. That call me, yo, Ken, what's up? Let's go to the basketball court. Let's grab a drink.
So where are all your friends from your personal life before Love Island? Why is he acting like he's like 15 and like it's do or die, like this is high school or something? Like, this is, you're an adult. I'm not gonna say I have a fuck ton of friends, but like if I'm really going through it, I have a list of people like I could count on one hand, to be real, but I'd call on, like, that I consider my friends, my people. If you don't have anybody like that in your life, like 0 people you can talk to, and I'm talking like 0. That means like not even an acquaintance you could talk to. Okay, because there's people that like they come to me in my DMs, like, and we're acquaintance or friends at the very least. You know what I'm saying? So like, there's hella people. Even if you're not that person's like person, you could be that person for somebody else or whatever the fuck. But if you have nobody like that in your life, you are usually the problem. Like, somebody who has, there's people that are like, I have no friends, but they don't really mean that. Like, they do have friends and they do have people they talk to. People who genuinely, though, have 0 friends and 0 connections is a bit of a red flag to me. Other than somebody who's like, for example, like, if you move to a new city and you're like, well, I don't have friends in this city. Well, you just moved there. That's fine. But you have friends in your old city, right? Like, you know what I'm saying?
And it made me realize, like, at the end of the day, you just have your family.
Oh, bro. Keep crying, bro.
Did
Oh,
anyone from
let
the
it
season reach
out.
Any
Give
of the
it
guys?
to me.
Yeah, Cordell reached out to me, and that's the one person that I have the utmost respect for.
So, while he's sitting here and talking about Cordell, by the way, because Cordell, if you don't know, was on... Oop, I accidentally opened the wrong thing. Cordell was on his season of Love Island. Well, Cordell had some things to say. Let me pull this up really quickly on Twitter because I think this is the best point to pull it up so we don't get too lost and forget to pull this up. Serena is Cordell's girlfriend. Cordell is the winner of the season. Cordell response Kenny. All right, so this is what he had to say in response to Kenny saying that Cordell was the one who reached out. Cordell wrote, at Kenny Rodriguez, we not even gonna get on how you sat on that podcast and lied the entire time, but what we not gonna do is act like I condone anything you did / said after you called me. I got on that ass and we haven't spoke since. Shout out my sis Janae, love you for life. Girl. And keep my motherfucking name out your mouth. I don't fuck with you, bro. He said what he said. So that's what Cordell said in response to that particular post. Now let's head back over here to this. So when he's crying and in tears and saying Cordell was really there for him. Nah, Cordell rides for his girl Janae. Which is also crazy, because if you guys could tell from that photo, Cordell is black. Why in the hell would he think that Cordell would side with him, knowing he dogged her, like, being a black woman? That was, like, part of it.
He was the only one.
Yeah, but I matured. I matured during all that.
You matured as you're crying.
And very, just how you treat others defines you. That's who you are. You know, when no one's watching.
How you treat others defines you. So when you spent an entire relationship leading on a girl for PR to then be in your boys chat DM talking about how you don't like black women, does that not show your character? When you were literally in that same group chat saying, oh, I can't wait for this to be over so I can fuck hella bitches and I'm only in this for the money. Do you think you're a good person that doesn't deserve the bad things happening to you?
That's the person that you are. And you can't give yourself to people right away. You can't open yourself up to people, we get to know. You don't know a person until they've been with you when you have nothing. And my family was there. And it really helped me with like everything that I was going through, the depression, the anxiety, because it felt like the world was my prison. I was like, you might as well lock me up because I can't even look at people in the eyes.
You might as well lock me up because I can't even look at people in the eyes. Lord.
It was just all like mental health is so important.
Would you say this is the first time like you struggled with mental health stuff, or did you have it as a kid?
No, this is the first time. I think it's the first time that something this, I've had deaths in the family, and this has hit me hard. They've hit me very hard. But this.
Did anybody else notice how he just turned off the tears like that? He turned off the waterworks like it was nothing.
Yeah, I wouldn't wish that upon anyone. It's just, yeah, you feel so alone.
Because you can't escape your own mind.
No.
You know? Mm-hmm. There's a lot of like things that happen to us in our life, bad things that we can numb by distracting ourselves. Mm-hmm. It's hard to distract what's going. Like you could be in a room full of people and still feel so alone up here, right? Like and nobody. But then now you're coming off of this show, and now you still have to be Kenny from the show and and smile and do the brand deal and show up here, and they have no idea what's going on up there. Like, did anyone ask you like how you were doing? Could you? Did you do a good job of hiding it?
It was just really my family.
Outside of them,
they really knew what I was going through. So that's another thing in this. It's like you don't know who to talk to. You don't know who's there, who has the right intentions, who's. So every time there was an interview, every time Beyond the Veil, I was like, well, I'm not going to put her in a bad light. Right.
So instead you'll send her a cease and desist and make it so she can't talk about anything, and then wait for a year later to talk about her in a bad light. Like, that's actually kind of crazy. That's actually insane. Also, I put up a little goal. At the moment, I'm going to be ending here in about 14 minutes, and I'm fingers crossed we have enough time to hit the end of this. If not, we'll definitely hit this at some point this week and finish it out. But if you guys do want to give a little extendo to make sure we got time to finish it, I did put up a little goal for that. No pressure either way, though. Like, seriously, no pressure. It's only if you guys want to keep watching this.
So just taking it all in, and I remember it's like eating inside, and I wanted to feel something. Like sometimes I take like 2 scoops of pre-workout and just go to the gym, and 4 hours, 5 hours of just listening to music and just like trying to feel something.
I hate gym bros. Like, just don't even speak to me. Don't even look at me.
What do you think it was that put you over that was your breaking point? Was it those like the stuff that got brought up on the show at the end and with you and Janae? Like, was that where the world really like?
Yeah, I think when people start going after your character and trying to define the person that you are without having that context, when brands are taking the situation and using it as a marketing ploy, when there was a thing that said like most hated man in America, and that was going viral on Twitter.
Because you were the most hated man in America when that all came out. Who in the world spends 11 months in a relationship with somebody of a race they don't even like? Like, that's actually crazy. Because that's, like, part of what I was saying earlier. Like, people obviously in life have their preferences. And if you know you're a prejudiced person who has their preferences, then don't get into a relationship of the person you have a prejudice against. Crazy concept, I know. Yeah, Danny said he's 26. The fact that we're, like, the same age makes us even crazier.
And just you see things, social media is just, like, it's a fake place. Like, it's like this imaginary, but we're people. We read comments. We read what people are saying. I've gotten much better at that, but
bro, Moonkin, thank you. How does content fix I don't like black girls? How?
It does affect me, and it affected me a lot. Mm-hmm.
Are you like willing to share like what actually happened, or like what, like why did they?
This part.
We were both in LA. We continued in the relationship. She was insisting that she wanted to stay in the relationship. I had that conversation with her in the Hamptons. We're business partners. But we continued, and that's like, as I said, I'm not a victim. I did that full well knowing it was affecting me. And she was just insisting she would change, that she wanted to stay in the relationship. Okay. And we went to a party in LA. There was like a movie premiere or something. I flew out, and we were having drinks. We had some drinks, and then there was an argument that we had in the car. I was like, okay, it's an argument. We have arguments every 2 days, every 3 days. Just stay quiet. And we got to the hotel, and I go to sleep. I think I woke up in the middle of the night, and my phone was off of the charger. And
you know what he's also doing in this? He's really trying to push that like angry black woman trope. Did anybody else try to like, because I've been noticing that low-key slightly as he's been doing this, but that was the most obvious moment to me where he's trying to push that. Crazy.
I remember like saying, I didn't see my phone. I think I was like half asleep, and I remember saying her name, like, "Where are you?" So she was in the bathroom. Then I woke up the following day, and she stays in the hotel that whole night. And I guess.
Good night, Matthew. Thank you for hanging out with us. And no worries, I know he's very monotone. That's why I gave the extension if you guys want it. If not, we'll finish this up during the daytime at some point because there is some stuff after this podcast.
She had gone through my phone that whole entire night. And she basically wakes me up with that. I went through your phone, I'm upset. I was like, okay. So I grabbed her phone. I said, all right, let me go through your phone now. And she got up all in my face. She got physical. I said, you know what? Here's your phone. The door's there.
Is he really crying right now? This is the same guy who 15 minutes earlier in this podcast was saying, let me be the man, and he's trying to cry and say she got physical. If you know anything about Janae, you know he's just dead lying here. I'm gonna be real. She does not give me that vibe. First off, that she would ever get physical, but second off, that she would get heated to the point of getting physical. I don't believe it.
I'm gonna call 911. Here's your phone. So anyway, just knew it wasn't gonna end right.
Why'd you have her phone?
Okay, here's your phone. And that's the last day that I saw her. I've sent her like a letter just expressing how I was feeling during the relationship. It lasted.
You mean the cease and desist you sent her?
Too long and all that, but this is the last time that I saw her. And that's when everything just came. Just like falling down.
She went public with it.
I mean, she told her friends, and her friends did the rest. So essentially, it
wasn't me.
Mm-hmm.
And now for something that should have been kept in private, she gets to go live her life essentially, and now you have to deal with the world attacking her.
What should have been kept in private?
Really,
his scummy behavior?
She makes it seem like this came out of like this, like we weren't having problems, like we weren't, it's just difficult. Like I'm done with the verbal abuse.
Even if it didn't come out of nowhere and you were putting like a front to people, you're literally sitting here saying, I don't like the verbal abuse. I don't believe you. This is after the fact that you've been outed for being just a complete piece of shit scumbag. Why would every single person who was mutual friends with both of you side with her?
I'm done.
The men sided with her.
Throughout the whole relationship?
That's how you know.
I'm done. Because I haven't treated you like that.
This guy is psychotic.
It's like she's the victim. Like I communicated with you. Like,
she's the victim. You're the victim right now.
I didn't want to be still in that relationship, and you took advantage of the trust that we had, and you used that to destroy me.
To destroy you?
But then
Bro, this motherfucker destroyed himself. This motherfucker did the most heinous thing you could do to somebody. Is like, you destroyed me. That part. Obviously, Danny said, when your boys side with her, you gotta know you fucked up. That part.
Alice, and that was, I don't think I've ever, I went back to Dallas and that was like the lowest moment of my life. I got back into my apartment and I guess someone leaked my phone number. And I was receiving like 20 FaceTimes a second. Like all I could see was these messages like, "Oh, kill yourself. You don't deserve to be here."
Amanda of Trifid said, who is this bloke? He's from season 6 of Love Island. He got outed about a year ago for being in a relationship with a girl for an entire year, but then had text messages to his friends saying, keep in mind, she's black, that he doesn't like black women, that he's only with her for the money, and he can't wait till the relationship is over so that he can fuck hella bitches. And now, after sending her a cease and desist a year ago so she couldn't talk about anything from the relationship, he went on this podcast 2 days ago to talk about the relationship and say all this shit, talking about her. Meanwhile, she's not been allowed to say anything about him.
And I think that was the first time I ever had like something like an anxiety attack.
Panic attack?
I felt like at any moment somebody was gonna come through those doors, and and I just kept on saying like, I don't want to be here. I don't want to be here. I don't want to be here. And my dad called me, and if it wasn't for him, I don't know what would have happened that day. I don't.
God. Now, I'm going to be real. He's going to go on and say some more shit here, but before we run out of time, I want to get into Janae's response. Because I think you got the general gist of how nothing's his fault and everything is her fault. So let's go ahead and grab the 2 different responses that we got from Janae, and that should be perfectly timed to end us off for tonight.
Before I call my lawyers, I would like to make a cute little statement to the person who thought it was a good idea to send me a cease and desist and then go on a whole ass podcast and make up straight fucking lies. Very ballsy of you. How fucking insane. But if you want to fucking play, let's fucking play. I think you should give me permission to drop all the text messages. Why don't we start there? Give me permission to drop all the text messages, and then we could just play from there. You know everything you said was a fucking lie. All of my friends know it's a lie, so I'm not even stressing. But for now, mind you, I'm on set. First of all, I'm on set right now. I spared you for a whole fucking year. I've been minding my business, literally focusing on myself and my blessings, and you thought that was a good idea? Alright, bitch, let's fucking play. But also, how about you tell your 99-cent ass fucking lawyers to answer the fucking phone, because what you're not about to do is ever think you could come for me and get away with it. Hey guys, one more thing, because I'm literally on set, and then I'll have my lawyers talk for the rest of me. You guys are tagging me in these videos of this ragged ass podcast. No, I'm not watching that fucking podcast. I've seen enough clips to know good enough for me to make a call. But if you really think someone that's 6'3" needs to call the cops on someone that's 5', 6.5", either you're a bitch or a bitch.
This is the same man who was sitting there on that podcast saying she never let me be the man in the relationship. She's 5'6", you're 6'3". What are you on about? She physically,
He knows for a fact I threatened to him to call the cops. But you want to play it the other
Tell
way?
him.
That's so crazy. You know that I was going to call the cops on you, and you want to lie? It's just so crazy. And that's the last thing I said to him. Before I was going to call the cops, he piped the fuck down, and then I left, and that was it. Because the second you want to threaten me, it's a fucking rap. It's a fucking rap. Fucking talking about I'm begging to stay. Bitch, do you not know who I am? Are you okay? Are you actually...
Look at this girl for one moment. Tell me she's got a single problem with trying to get a man. I just want to be real. She is genuinely one of the finest women I've ever seen in my life. She is, objectively just, stunning beautiful. Tell me she has a problem getting a man.
Okay. Clearly you're fucking not, but my lawyers will talk to your lawyers and then we'll play. But I really hope and pray that this kid says, yeah, post them. So yes, and
this woman, this bad woman, no way.
See what really happened. Before I call my lawyers.
And that's not the only response she gave. Let me grab the other one before we get ending off here. And then I'll probably be in the VC for a little bit tonight following this. So if you guys want to come hang out with me a little bit, I'll see y'all there. I will also let you know there is a slight chance I might stream just a little bit later than 3 tomorrow because I stayed up a little bit late tonight streaming. But I might just be live at 3 tomorrow. So don't take me at face value with that. But just in case you don't see me live at 3 tomorrow, it's just because I was up a little bit late tonight and I want to make sure I'm well rested before I'm live again. But we got Happy Solitude. Welcome to the Little Smokies. We are going to be doing a fun Little Smokies event this weekend, but I don't want to say what it is until tomorrow or Thursday because I don't know. I want to leave you guys on the edge.
Everything, and I promise you my lawyers are already drawing up.
It's not a gaming event though.
The paperwork. Never in my life have I assaulted anyone. Ever. It's not even in my character. I would never do such thing. Most importantly, even after I've learned from a particular someone their views of the Black community, about the LGBTQ community, about immigrants in our country, even though their dad is an immigrant in America, I still would never ever get physical.
God, I love the way she does shit. I love the way she's done. Because, like, bitch, keep revealing the tea so subtly. Because there's no way he really said all those types of different things thinking you would never air that out. Like, keep going.
When I tell you guys you're tagging me in these clips, please, it's like 60 minutes or 90 minutes of straight lies. There is no daily arguments. We were perfectly fine. Obviously, we argued because we're a couple, but it wasn't on the daily. When someone has a...
Dude, men will do this. I think it was Danny who I saw say it in the chat earlier, but men who tell you that all of their exes are crazy are a red flag. Now, I'll be real. Currently, I'm dating a man who actually had a psycho ex. And I thought it was a bit of a red flag when he told me that until I saw the actual examples for myself of her, like, being crazy. So, one ex being crazy, not a red flag. But if a guy tells you all their exes are crazy, that's a super red flag. Because why is it a pattern that all of your exes have something wrong with them, but there's nothing wrong with you? Most men, like, if they talk about having, like, a crazy ex or whatever, it's like an isolated incident. If it's normal, you know? Exile said, shout out all the crazies. Love them. Yes, you do, Exile. Yes, you do. Hex said, best part, if there's a lawsuit, we will be able to see all the text messages. And that's kind of why I'm covering this now. Because with the lawsuit that might potentially be happening, we will see those texts. And when they come out, I will be fucking hitting them. Annie Rita Gonzalez said he's the outlier. No, really. Like, my man is like a 1 in a million. Like, there were things that you would think were like a red flag going into dating him that were not a red flag at all. And I'm just very lucky. He's a 1 in a million. Excel said, what do you mean by that, Zeus? You like them toxic and you like them crazy, Exile. And I feel like you don't need a toxic or crazy woman. You're very much like a nice, genuine guy who could be with a normal woman, but you like them toxic and crazy.
Vendetta and an agenda to make as much money as they can from someone, they're going to play the part. So I don't know why someone's acting like we were miserable. We were perfectly fine. And the only time the cops were brought up is when someone snatched my phone, accusing me of having screenshots, and I told them, you need to give me back my phone. And when they didn't, I just simply went over to the hotel bed, grabbed the hotel phone, and gave it to me right quick.
So the screenshots, by the way, that she is talking about is very much known as being the screenshots of what he said, saying that he didn't like black women, saying... So, remember at the very start of this, we showed the Instagram story that Charmaine, who is Janae's best friend, like IRL, put out? That's what she's talking about with these screenshots, because apparently these screenshots actually did get sent to some of her friends, but she never put them out publicly. And I don't blame her, by the way, for sending those screenshots to her friend. Because imagine you've been dating a man for 11 months and all of a sudden you see all these screenshots in his, or see all these messages in his group chat of him dogging you, bro. Couldn't be me. Couldn't be me. My man gives me full access to his phone. Couldn't be me. Like,
apparently, someone accused me of having screenshots of their conversation. And if you think I have 74 screenshots of someone confessing about the nastiest, worst things you could say, then you obviously don't know me. I would never do such thing. That's crazy.
I love her. And I'm also like feeling for her so bad during this, because imagine having to deal with this psychotic motherfucker for a year past when you broke up. Like, I'm sure she just wants to be done of this and like move on and be able to move on and do her like brand content and whatnot. And she's still got to deal with this.
And please know there was never a conversation about me begging his family for him back. There was never a breakup where he ignored me for 3 days. It's literally all a lie.
Exactly.
He never
Annie.
ignored me for 3 days. I never begged his family for him back, because one thing I'll never do is beg for a man. I know my worth,
that.
and I would never beg for a man, and you guys know that for a fact. Most importantly, the only begging is when his family reached out to me talking about they're threatening us. They claim that they have our address. It wasn't us. We'd never think of those things. He's never said those things we're talking about. And what did I do, you guys? The last thing I talked about over a year ago was leave the family alone, because
she put out an Instagram story where she did a video saying, do not attack him. Don't attack his family, because his family especially has nothing to do with this, and that does nothing good. So when this whole thing first came out of all the fucked up shit he did, she literally still defended him, still defended his family. For him to go on that fucking podcast is just so dog, bro.
Such a good person, and I believe them that they'd never do such thing. Nah. Boy, was I wrong. But please know, I'm not a violent person, and I think everyone knows that. There's only such a small handful that just obviously gets to me, but I'm gonna let my lawyers take it over from here, and we're leaving out to help you guys all have a blessed day, and never ever forget, when someone comes for you, I'm guessing maybe the funds are low. I'm assuming you had to do 60 minutes, 90 minutes of a whole lie for $1.
Tell them.
Now you're about to be in overdraft, because I don't know why you thought that was a good idea, but
the ending of this is how I feel every time I respond to when Keemstar fucking talks about me. It's like, glad you had to do that 2-hour podcast for $1, but anywho. So in the caption of this, I'll read it out as well because it's very small. So this was only posted 13 hours ago, so this is an ongoing situation. If you guys are interested in it, please let me know in the comments, because I'll keep covering it as it goes. If you're interested, but only if you're interested. I am very much, the best way I can explain it, like the way I run my channel is like, you guys tell me you want this, and I get enough interested people who want this thing, I'm gonna keep doing that. So if you have interest, make sure you let me know in the comments. That's always the most helpful way to make sure I cover the content you want. But here is what the caption says. 13 hours ago, the fact that I even have to post this is insane, but please know 100% of every clip y'all have tagged me in is a complete lie. But don't worry, I'll handle it from here. Also, in parentheses, this is just a combination of my IG story put together because I refuse to sit down properly and give that person any more of my time. And there is podcasts that you guys can find. Like I said, if we had more time, we'd like go through some stuff of her talking about like her relationship with Kenny post breakup, like in between like the 1 year that they broke up. But it was like she would get interviews from like E! News, People Podcast, or like People News Podcast. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's like she'd be in the middle of a regular ass interview and they'd ask her questions about her relationship and she'd say why it ended. But she never dogged him on a podcast the way he dogged her and tried to make her out to be the aggressive black woman trope. Actually crazy. So I just wanted to hit some of that. I'm glad you guys enjoyed it, but let me go ahead and get a redirect put in for you guys for somebody. My favorite person is live. Okay, so I'm about to redirect you guys to the nickel stacking guy. He is fantastic. Okay, this guy stacks nickels in a cone shape, but it like starts like tiny at the bottom and it goes up like a funnel. And he's just really wholesome, and his wife is there, and he's a really sweet guy. So go check out Ty Star on YouTube. He's really nice. Thank you guys so much for tuning into this. In case I'm not live at 3 p.m. Eastern tomorrow, it's just because I went late tonight, but I should be live tomorrow, but I have like a little bit of a meeting for something I'll tell you guys about maybe tomorrow. If not, I'll let you know about it soon. Exile being defensive tells you everything, heck. He said, so defensive, Exile. You're so lucky I don't have my old phone because I'd post a screenshot. Exile used to goon for sweet tea, we all know. But he's reformed. Heck, we have to give him a chance because Xio'S reformed now. Thank you for joining in, Moonkitten, and thank you to everybody who's been here for the whole stream. I do appreciate you guys for hanging out with me. I know this is a much later stream than what I usually do, so any of you guys that I see at 3 p.m. who are here right now, I love you. Shout out to Danny, shout out to Bear, shout out to Exile, my late night and daytime people. I love y'all and I appreciate y'all so much. I might start doing like maybe one late night stream a week if this is what you guys are kind of enjoying, because I've seen a couple of you guys say today like, I'm happy to finally catch you non-replay gang. So if you like me doing late night lives at least once a week, also leave a comment saying that, because the more you let me know what you enjoy, the more I'll do it. All right. I got IHOP to go eat. He just let me know. Thanks for tuning in. Good night, Alexis. Good night, everybody. And I'll see you guys back again tomorrow.